right, it is Tuesday night in the Coast to Coast Racing League. Patrick Morrison here in the booth. Alongside me is Season 1 winner of the Racing Revolution League, Robert Rader. And we have a full plate today. Coming up first, so far the wingless 360s at the I-55. We'll have the fixed 410 division at Kokomo. And then we're going to finish it off, move these guys over to asphalt, put them in the trucks, and have them run 50 laps at Charlotte. This is going to be a real good shootout here today for these guys right now. Last week we ran the midgets. So tonight ends up being the wingless 360s is where we end up for this one. I believe last week for the midgets, Joseph Grandy that we see here in our screen running around in the 518 was our last week's winner. Patrick Spangler came second, Terry Landis third. So those guys are definitely looking to kind of repeat that here tonight. I don't see those guys out there on the track just yet. They're getting ready to kind of wind it up here in just a second and kind of see what we got going on here, for the race here tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got out on the track. So far, track temperature at 74 degrees, 76 in the air, so about same level playing field here. No real difference between the air temperature and track temperature as these guys are finishing up their practice. Rob, boy, I think you guys tune in a whole bunch here. Into the chat and into these races here. What have you noticed so far when you do show up and watch the Coast to Coast Racing League?
Yeah, these guys are a lot of fun to watch. Just seems like it's a good group of guys who are here to have fun, and they're always entertaining to watch. We've got qualifying going on here. We'll see who puts it on the pole, but it seems like every single time these guys have a race, it's just really unpredictable, really entertaining.
Yeah, and that we are, especially Joseph Grandy, I believe it was last week. He ended up flipping through the infield. I think took out a couple of fans, but they were okay. He made it to the infield care center and back on the track. He is in the 518 car here. Right now, Spangler, once again, fast time. So he seems to kind of enjoy these ones that absolutely have no downforce, especially with, without the wing and with, the midgets and everything. These ones shouldn't wheelie like the midgets, because normally you see those midgets kind of bump, a bad dirt clod, and they're wheeling half the backstretch, only on two wheels here. But I-55, it's gonna be, it's a short track. It's gonna be difficult to get around here. Out there in the chat, Isaac Salas, look at you, man. Why are you not out here racing? I think don't just stick to the 358s on Thursdays. Get out here. The 410s are good, and I definitely better see you suited up for that NASCAR race here tonight, as these guys are going to go ahead and wrap up. We're only halfway through qualifying so far. Nick Vickery, Dan McLaren, and Donovan Ross are yet to go out yet. Yeah, and just as I say that, attaboy. So we're taking a look here at Nick Vickery in the 00 right here.
Looks like we have a tie for second at the moment on the board as well.
That we do. Let me see if I can find my standings here, where our guys are here for the Wingless Warrior division here. So far, what it is showing me is starting week 4. Terry Landis is in the lead. He is yet to place out of the top 5, so that is awesome by him. Patrick Spangler picked up 6 positions. He's up in the second, and Jeffrey Barker is third, tied with Jack Hitt. So Joseph Grandy moved up 3 positions, put him in 6th, and Bob DeGood. And good to see. I'm hoping Bob DeGood will be kind of being able to flip this one around and see what see what we can kind of flip around here. But it looks like about another 20 seconds left in this one, and then we'll be on to our first heat.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how long these heats are, because it seems like this track is bottom dominant, but only until they run a couple laps, and then it just starts to, the line seems to creep up closer and closer to the wall. And if these heats are very long, they'll be right in the top in no time, I bet.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And especially in these little cars, they definitely tear up that low line. So really where Terry Landis likes to ride is not going to be really favorable for him out there. But Heat 1 is going to be brought to you by Langton Mechanical. Let's go ahead and get to our grid here. What is already starting us here, Joseph Grandy is going to start in our front row, Nick Vickery second. That'll be Jack Hitt starting out in the second row with Steven Spees on the outside. Brandon Dittmer in third row, Randy Shreves in sixth, and Dan McLaren. Hopefully Dan McLaren's able to turn his luck around here just a little bit. I know he's been having a little bit of trouble out there on the track as of late, but I'm hoping he's going to be able to kind of keep this one squared away. Not too many laps here for these heats. I believe they're only about 5 laps once we're green to get it going. Come on, Brandon Dittmer, wake up. There we go.
There he goes. All right. I told you, always entertaining. You never know what's going to happen. See these boys get caught up before we go green here.
Oh, man. I want to make sure we kind of give a shout-out to our driver of the week, Peter Bree. Ended up getting the driver of the week for week 3. He started 18th in last week's Hometown Heroes 305 race and drove all the way from P9. So he passed 9 cars, so not too shabby. Definitely, hard to pass out here on the dirt.
That's getting it done.
Yeah, man. Everyone thinks it's so easy, man. I don't think it is easy at all, but, man, here we go. Nick Vickery, Joseph Grandy up here in the front. Keep an eye out here on Grandy. Vickery's tough there on the outside in that red, white, and blue car. And the crazy neons is Joseph Grandy there, and we'll see how they get around. But Nick Vickery getting going here on the outside. Seems to be hanging there toward the top, doing pretty well. So we'll see if he can go ahead and keep it collected here and stay his way up front. Grandy may go ahead and secure this win here for the heat. But Nick Vickery back here battling with Jack Hitt. Boy, that was a tough contact there, Rob. And you got to see, whoa, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, he sent it down in there.
Yeah, definitely not good. Jack Hitt looked like he kind of got around that turn there and then it just kind of stopped on him. So Randy Shreves here in the 56 doing a great job avoiding that one. But it looks like we got a battle here for the lead. Steven Spees looking to kind of put his name out there. But he has a limited amount of time here. He's got to watch where he's going to be as he's coming around 3 and 4 here, getting ready to line up for only 2 left to go. Looks like it's calmed down just a little bit there. Dan McLaren has moved up to the 5th position. Definitely.
I think Spees has the pace, but it's going to be borderline impossible to pass. With the fast line being on the bottom, you can't slide job the guy. So I'm not really sure what his options are here. He might just have to settle for second in the heat.
Yeah, definitely. And that's okay, being able to settle for, okay in the heat here, to be able to get a good shot and line yourself up here for the feature. So that's going to do it. Grandy, Spees, Vickery, Shreves, McLaren, Hitt, and Dittmer. Dittmer seemed to not just fall asleep at the line there, but kind of fell back just a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and get him shuffled back up and back underway. Let's go ahead and look at our Heat 2 grid. That's going to put Jeff Barker, Patrick Spangler 1 and 2. Brandon Templeton will be 3rd with Terry Landis, our points leader right now here in the wingless division. Bob DeGood will be 5th and Donovan Ross 6th. Good check there by Terry Landis. We kind of see him checking that wheel, making sure it is connected and everything looking good as we get this one underway. Heat 2 will be brought to you by Magnum Race Designs. Magnum Race Designs offer iRacing wraps, hero cards, logos, flyers, and even t-shirt designs. If you're looking for a new design, you want attention to detail, competitive pricing, and fast turnaround times, check out Magnum Race Design on Facebook, where you can contact them directly through Messenger. They are also a proud sponsor of that 358 Modified division. Here we go. Barker lined up with Spangler. This is going to be tough here, Rob. Well, I'm definitely excited to see what these guys can get done here.
Me too. I'm excited for your next sponsor readout too. You're killing it tonight with those. But one less car on this one. 6 cars instead of 7 we had in the last heat. Shouldn't make much of a difference on the track. However, we'll see if the groove starts to move any higher or if we're going to continue to see kind of that train on the bottom.
Yeah, definitely. What I want to kind of keep an eye out for here is Brandon Templeton and Landis. These guys are starting in the 2nd row with Spangler and Barker in front of them. So really, right now, your top runners in the points right now are here in this heat for Heat 2.
Fair amount of oversteer there on the bottom.
Yeah, a little bit of Barker right there. Kind of got a little bit loose. But yeah, Templeton goes ahead and flosses that move right there in the 3rd spot. So now, watch Landis. Remember I was talking about how he loves using that low line. And really, he never gives up on it. He'll stick to that low line until the last, but after a while it comes in, and it's very interesting to see how this 61 of Terry Landis here goes in and gets his way around the track.
Seems like the very bottom's pretty slick, but if you get about a lane and a half up, a little bit lower than he is right there, it seems pretty quick. But we're finally seeing the top working here pretty well for Spangler as he's running up there in the cushion.
Yeah. Patrick Spangler posted his best time right there of a 12:22 on that last lap. And boy, he is really on a tear right now. Seems to be doing quite well toward the top there, but he's not giving that up either. He's going to be back in the chase here. if he wins this race, he may overtake Landis here. He's only behind by about 30 some odd points here, so the race is getting tight. But Patrick Spangler really didn't make anything tight there as he beats Terry Landis by almost a second. Templeton came third. Devo, Donovan Ross in fourth. Jeff Barker in fifth. And Bob DeGood comes in sixth. So that is going to go ahead and bring our warm-up coming up here pretty soon. So these guys only got about 3 minutes. Come out here, break the track in just a little bit and see how it, kind of how it feels out here. I know some guy who's normally not out here, John Hine. I haven't seen him in the 71 out here. I know he had some trouble with his VR last week. Hopefully he's gotten that kind of squared away. Steven Spees has been doing really well, so I know Steven Spees is here. So the Gambler Motorsports team has been represented out here.
I tried VR for a while there, Patrick, and ended up having some motion sickness issues. I don't know how you'd do it in dirt. It just seems like it would just be too much, but I mean, it's super immersive, so I mean, you got the dirt all over your face and everything else for these guys who are running VR for the dirt racing. It's got to be pretty wild.
Yeah, definitely. I've always wanted to try VR. I was just always afraid of a connection issue. I've raced behind guys with VR, and then all of a sudden it cuts out, and then, I'm the guy behind him, of course. I ended up rear-ending him and folding half the track because he had a disconnect problem, and it's just, I think once they're a little more reliable, I'd be all over it, just try to get a better angle out the windshield.
That's the iRacing Classic VR black screen failure.
There you go. Yeah, I heard even some guys
sure.
say they can see their arms and legs move, too. So, I don't know if it has a tracking camera that can go on your rig or whatnot and face you, but it'll follow your hands and your feet, too, which is pretty handy.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, man. Especially if you got a motion rig. I mean, think about how many of those senses you'll be taking away. You take away your vision, your headset's on, so you got the sound. Now if I can make it move, I mean, it's just... It's hard telling the difference of that, to some point. But yeah, the more updates iRacing comes out with, the better it's getting. 1 minute left here in the warm-up.
Now, do they normally keep the track state where it's at after warm-up?
Yes, it should be. I believe. I think it's about a 10% wear is where they're going to put it. So I think they scuff the top line just a little bit, and then they go right back at it.
Yeah, we're starting to develop two distinct lines, and the middle's becoming a no man's land. So if this is the track state we're going to start with, it's going to make for some really interesting racing.
Yeah, especially after 30 laps. You see these guys only laying down, 5, 6 during this warm-up. Best case scenario, maybe 8 or so. But these guys are getting away, and you see these guys turning about 12 laps, 12-second laps here. Interesting thing to look at. I think it had a little note written here. Kyle Larson broke the 10-second mark at this track. So, I mean, if you think these guys are going pretty quick in 12 seconds, competing around this track, Kyle Larson broke it in the 10-second mark. And did you know Ken Schrader in 2003 purchased this track?
I actually did know that. I can't tell you where I picked up that tidbit of information from. But yeah, where's this track located again, Patrick?
Oh, man.
Located?
No, don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. I'm not 100% sure. I'm thinking
I was gonna ask because I'm pretty sure it's nearby to where I live. So.
Where are you?
I'm in Missouri.
Pelvey, USA. Oh, God. Now, of course, it's got to kind of keep me as level as possible. All right, let's go ahead and get that grid up here and go ahead and get our starting lineup. Joseph Grandy and Patrick Spangler starting out in the front row. Steven Spees, Terry Landis. So that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. These guys are going to be stacked up. Nick Vickery, Brandon Templeton, Randy Shreves, and Donovan Ross. That'll be 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9 is going to be Dan McLaren, Jeff Barker 10th, Jack Hitt 11th. Bob DeGood ends up in the 12th position. So he's got a little bit of work to do here in the back. Hopefully he's able to kind of chop his way back forward, and that's going to unfortunately start Brandon Dittmer back in the 13th position. That's going to be
Bob DeGood has the Mister on his name there, which gives me extra confidence in his way to work through the pack.
There you go.
But I did see I-55 is in Missouri, so that explains a lot why I know about this track and don't know why, because I constantly hear about it from all the local racers here.
All right. Donovan Ross is not in yet. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's going to be a missed start there. There's no getting in now.
Man, I've been feeling good about where his start race there. So, Joseph Grandy taking this one away. Let's go and get that tower up there. Everything looking good. You like those new yellow numbers, don't you?
They look really nice.
They make it so easy to see. Oh, man.
Yeah, visual presentation's on point, as always. It's going to be interesting with Grandy was really fast on the bottom in his heat, and then Spangler was ripping it around the top, and nobody could compete with him. Now we're going to have a track state where maybe those are two different, unique, but also equally quick lines to get started here anyway. And it could be really interesting to see what happens early on.
Yeah, definitely. As that Steve King pace truck pulls off Grandy, away he goes with his first start here of the night. Let's go ahead and see if these guys can keep it cleaned up. Immediately, looks like Patrick Spangler slams it straight to the top shelf here and goes ahead and works his way around Terry Landis, per the usual, down toward the bottom. We'll see if Terry Landis gives up on it how he did in the heat. Oh, no!
Man, they all pile in there.
Oh, no!
Keep it straight for now.
Oh,
they're still running
going
into each other back there.
Randy Shreves. And all right, that'll bring out the caution.
Caution's out.
Holy cow. Originally it wasn't. That kept it green, and then all of a sudden they, I guess I got it back together. Let's take a quick look here at the Randy Shreves pileup.
Got 12 cars in the race, and about 8 of them were in this wreck at one point or another. Oh, man, big hit down there.
Let's get back to it here. Some of these guys are going to come down pit, see if they can straighten out a couple of those bars there. I see, I believe. Who is that? Good Lord. Yeah, Steven Spees. I figured he came down. He was the first one who took that massive shot up in the top 4 and then just got marched back after that. Grandy, Spangler, and Landis still survive, so that'll be our 1, 2, 3. Stickers, Nick Vickery in 4th.
Well, you know, they say in order to figure out where the line is, you have to step over it. So maybe now that Spangler's found where not to step, he can get it figured out here moving forward.
Yeah.
It seems like the top 3 guys on the outside all just, maybe Spangler went in pretty deep and everyone had faith that he had it figured out and followed him into the wall there.
Yeah.
But fortunately, it looks like everyone's going to continue.
It's just been a lot more tacky than they expected, you know, and I think Spees sent it in there a little deep. Oh, no! It looks like Landis is already around.
Rack him back up, try it again.
Yeah, that was fast on that one. That was Landis right there on the restart. Let's take a look here from our ace drone view. Oh man, just look at the stack up behind it. Yuck.
It's so tough on dirt. I don't have a ton of dirt experience, Patrick, but a lot of the dirt experience that I do have involves wrecking the race car. So I can tell you with a lot of confidence that when you're trying to avoid a guy or there's a wreck happening in front of you on dirt, there's just nowhere to go. You've already picked your line. You've already sent the car into the corner at the speed that you're going to send it, and you're just kind of along for the ride. And you know, you just kind of hope that they're not where you're going, because there's not a whole lot you can do to avoid them at that point.
Yeah, and it's interesting to think, you know, if you hit the brake, it actually will ride you up the track. But at the same time, stomping on the gas will ride you up the track as well, because then you're spending too much. So it's definitely a steering input throttle control balance out here, no matter where you are. But if you think these guys are having a tough time here in the wingless, boy, man, you ought to see them in the 410s. You want to talk about speed out of those guys. But right now, Joseph Grandy showing off his speed there on the bottom. Looks like Patrick Spangler still working that outside line. These guys starting single file may be the trick. These guys go in and calm it down here just a little bit. At least let's start putting some laps in the book here. Everybody get a feel. Let the track kind of undo itself here. And, you know, like I said, start wearing some lines in where maybe people are a lot better with it slicked up. But yeah, Rob, as you were talking before, we are starting to see 2 lines here starting to form up on the track of where they are and where they're not going to be here. And really, the middle isn't where to be, and the top shelf isn't where to be. So really, I'm interested to see where Terry Landis decides to kind of pick this up and get his way back up front.
Yeah, it seems like the top line is the preferred line at the moment, but I believe our leader's still running the bottom. Is that starting to tighten up for the lead here?
Yeah, as it is. It looks like Patrick Spangler did have a quick pass there on Grandy. Grandy now changed up, running a lot lower, but Spangler has that outside speed.
Grandy better start thinking about moving up there, otherwise he's about to lose this lead.
Yeah, definitely he might have to start blocking here, but man, Spangler has just got so much speed coming into these turns. It seems to be the one for him at this point. Good Lord, he's moving around quick.
Patrick Grandy missed the bottom a little bit there, didn't get off the corner as well as he wanted to, and Spangler's going to take the front spot with that one.
Yeah, and this track being just over a quarter of a mile, these laps do kind of munch away pretty quick. So Grandy needs to kind of change his his angle here and change his lane, because right now I don't know if that bottom line is holding. As right now Spangler's just starting to put the distance on, only off by about a quarter of a second so far. Vickery is the next one in tow, but he's off by a second now. Followed by Dan McLaren, like I said, turning his luck around. He's up 5 positions into the 4th. But right now, Patrick Spangler on a tear, seeming to be using that top end quite well, and away he goes.
Yeah, he's not getting too far away from Grandy, though, and you see how tore up the top of the track is with everybody running up there. It's just the conditions are getting worse and worse and worse up next to the wall, and it's going to be more and more difficult to hold that thing right on the edge, keep out of the wall. So we've got another caution out here.
Oh, it looks like Dittmer may have bent it here. Yep, he's got some damage on the front end of his car. Let's go ahead and get a quick look here at Dittmer and see what happened here. Oh.
Yeah. Ride the fence.
There we go. And yes, lands on the wheels. All right, no tow for him, so he will go ahead and stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, and just like we were just talking about, the condition of the track on the top side is starting to get a little bit more sketchy, and just got in there a little too hard, catch the wall, and you hit the wall wrong. There's nothing you can do about it. You're stuck in it. So it's going to be really interesting with this whole 17 laps left to go, where these guys are going to run, where they're going to find the grip at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I don't have much dirt experience either. Street stocks, I can't make it past the rookie class, I believe, because every time I get going, it's a lot different than asphalt. I try to dive in too slow and get aimed for the apex of the turn, and it just doesn't work. These guys really, to the floor all the way in and then let up. But really, the pace car is off. Here we go, pace truck. Boy, could you imagine a car out here in this dirt? Patrick Spangler's going to go ahead and continue this, which will actually give Nick Vickery a good shot. Since he was falling off there a little bit, this will be his chance to actually catch up. Nick Vickery is kind of playing with that second position of Joseph Grandy. Grandy, look at that, still staying true to that bottom line there. I believe Spees is following behind him as well.
Yeah, Vickery got up in the wall there too. It's getting difficult to find the line. The bottom is starting to be the safe place to run. Maybe not the fastest place to run, but the safest place right now.
Yeah, 217 Jack hit right there. You see him right there behind Grandy as he kind of has to ride up the track a little bit. Looks like Grandy kind of almost died there leaving turn 4. Got going there a little bit, but he wasn't able to drag any speed out of there. Good move there by Jack Hitt. Kind of having to make a good checkup there. Right now, Spangler's he's leaving him now. He's over a second off, so right now he may have this in the bag. I say that, Dan McLaren is
he
already
hit the wall so hard he disconnected. I'm not really sure what happened there.
Holy man, that's one thing about dirt. This gets crazy out here. Jack Hitt has moved up 8 positions and is right now getting ready to aim for a 3rd or 2nd position. He's got 3rd in the bag. Wasn't sure if he was about to be under fire by Vickery or Spees here.
An absolute swarm of cars right here.
Yeah, definitely let's take a look here from that top view, kind of see how everybody's kind of bunched up. Oh man, Nick Vickery, hang in there. Yeah, and you see Nick Vickery there in the red, white, and blue car. He's having a bad angle.
Contact at the bottom.
Yeah, it looks like Jack Hitt may have gotten loose. Now it has sent Spees out of the control, but Spees collects it back up and reels him back in. As we only have 8 laps left in this one. These guys have, staying collected out there in the chat. Yeah, Nick Alves, dirt. No, you're looking at the right track. We are at I-55. We will be at the asphalt later on, guys. I believe out there in the chat, Michael Bennett also asking, can Rob broadcast full time? Because he'd like a chance to win.
Yeah, it's maybe I can try to win a race while broadcasting the same race I'm broadcasting. We can try that sometime and see how Michael Bennett thinks that's any better.
Here we go. All right, man. Well, it looks like Patrick Spangler may go ahead and bring away the win on this one as long as he keeps it clean. Grandy doing his best to separate away from 3 and 4, but right now our move here Randy Shreves finally getting his break in the 56, trying to work, stay up front. I know the past couple of weeks he's been having a lot of trouble just trying to see if he could break up into the top 5.
There's a caution. Rack him up one more time. At least one more time.
And I believe this one may be Dan McLaren. We saw him disappear on the track. Oh. Yeah, I think he was avoiding Terry Landis there. Landis got turned around. He got turned around.
Oh, jeez.
Man.
I think that time when he disappeared, it was intentional. I think, he had enough there. Throw the towel in. Done for the night.
So now, if you're Joseph Grandy, what do you do? You've now got your another, tow rope is out here to give you another chance. And
well, I mean, you need to get a good restart for one, and then I'm not really sure the track's in great condition for a slide job. Just seems like you're gonna have to slow up too much in the center of the corner to pull that off without wrecking both of you. So I'm not really sure he has any good options. Maybe you try the top, just switch it up from what you've been doing to see if you can get any momentum there. But I mean, it's gonna be really difficult to pass Spangler. I'm not really sure he has any good options right now.
Yep. Randy Shreves right now, highest he is so far here in this league. He's got 3 top 10 so far. No top 5s, no wins yet. He did have 9th place last week. Right now sitting in 3rd, so I'm hoping he gets his lucky break here in that 56 machine. But right now, that Steve King Foundation truck is off, and Spangler just absolutely owns that restart and already gets that 0.3 of a second gap break away from Grandy. So now Grandy in the hole immediately after the restart and under fire here by Randy Shreves. Yep, Randy Shreves here in the 56, still working that outside line, trying to follow Spangler.
Got in the wall.
Yep, Spangler messed up here, so now Grandy has a chance with 2 to go. This is going to be the shootout to the end. Let's see if Spangler gets
have a good shot here.
All right, watch Spangler. He won't give up. As he gets pushed around here, Spangler trying to see if he can get that corner speed. He's got it, but does he have it for the final turn? Here it comes.
Be at the line.
Here it comes. He beats him. He got him. Oh my God, he got him.
Tell you what, Spangler ran a really great last 3 laps right there, and so did Grandy, but Grandy had every opportunity to send it in there a little too hard and ruin everything for both of those guys, and just really good clean racing is why we got such a good finish there.
Wow.
So shout out to really everyone in the top 5 there for putting on a good show.
Wow, that was fast. Grandy almost had him, but Spangler had a 0.2 second, was 0.2 faster that last lap. Man, that was awesome. That was awesome. He was able to beat him, squeeze it from the outside there. Let's go ahead. He was
able to go ahead and get the 3rd place finish as well. You'd said no top 5 so far in this season, so good to see him get a podium finish.
Yeah, he definitely deserves it. He's fought his way all the way from the bottom. Yep, all the way from the bottom. Now we're here. Go ahead and say it. All right.
I wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah, well, I know everybody out in the chat was thinking it. Where is Mr. Shreves? Oh boy.
He wasn't prepared to be interviewed, I guess.
Negatory. All right, we may have to catch up with Mr. Randy Shreves here. But so far, let's check a chat here with Joseph Grandy. Oh, there he is. He's in the Discord. Good Lord, boy. Chasing these guys all around the track. Trying to see if I can get these guys lined up. All right, let's see if we can have a chat with him.
Yeah.
Randy Shreves, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Patrick.
Dude, all right, finally, you got a podium position here in this league. And, how's it feel, man? You got to be feeling better about this.
And yeah, definitely feel good about getting a podium in these things. As everybody knows, I'm used to my wing. I really wish I had my wing in that race. But yeah, I held on to her and pulled off a podium and had an awesome race there at the end.
All right, man. Well, last week you placed 9th. Here you are, in 3rd. Really, this has got to be a good turnout, especially for points, being able to work your way up. But great job, Randy. We got the 410s coming up. So I don't want to take up too much of your time because we got to get you out there practicing for that. Fortunately, there will be a wing on that one. So go ahead and give me your shout-outs here, Randy. Let's get you on the track.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to thank my team, LGR Motorsports, Redline Race Design, One Wish Foundation, Wraps and Stitches, KSB Builders, Finish Line Repair, everybody with the broadcast and Coast to Coast for putting on this awesome league, and everybody for watching.
You're the man. I love the way you're able to read that out, man. You're so fast at it. Great job, Randy.
Thanks.
All right, Randy Shreves there.
That was impressive. I mean, it's like he had it written down. He's practiced this for a guy who hasn't had a top 5 this season. He really seemed like he was used to doing that.
Yeah, he is a champion of another league, though. This one, he just finally got that break. Finally was able to get away and up front, but getting away and up front and having it. Joseph Grandy, all right, you had it, and it was so close, but just was unable to kind of really hold on to it there at the end.
Yeah, I decided not to play it dirty and block them, so I figured second's better than a possible double wreck.
All right, man, dude. Still, regardless, that was a fantastic run right there at the end. You being able to kind of keep it there. Right now, Joseph Grandy, you are in the 6th position, and that is going to go ahead and give you another 6th place or 2nd place finish here. One win that'll give you at least 2 top 5. So I'm definitely expecting this to slide you at least to the top 3 here, bud. What are we looking at for the rest of for the rest of the season here? I mean, is the cars kind of coming around for you?
Yeah, like I said, that was my second time in those cars, and they're extremely fun. So I like them. It took me a little bit to get used to them that last race, and it felt pretty good. This track, I-55s, they're a lot easier to drive on this track because of the banking.
All right, man. Well, I hate to ruin, but kind of burst your bubble here. 410s are what we got next, so I need you to wipe your mind, get ready for the 410s, and give me a shout out to let's get you on the track, dude.
I won't be in the 410s tonight.
What?
But, yeah, I got. There's a bunch of racing on that I prefer to watch this week. But I'd like to thank the broadcast, Coast to Coast, and everyone that keeps it going.
All right, Joseph. Well, the guy, I guess you can go watch racing instead of race. I don't really agree with it, but I guess you can go do it.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, Joseph. Take it easy, bud. All right, that's Joseph Grandy there in the 2nd position. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I don't know. I don't know if you do it, Rob. I am not a fan of that. If I can race, I will race. And the guy who raced it here tonight, Patrick Spangler, in the 39. Patrick Spangler, you got a copy?
Yep, gotcha.
Dude, that race, that was awesome. Finally, you've got 3 races in the bag, 2 top 5s here in each of those. Finally pull away with a win here in the wingless division. Got to beat the weight off your shoulders. This is now going to help you reel in Terry Landis, if not pass him here, due to his showing here tonight. Unfortunately, he was only back in the 7th position. How's it feel, man?
Pretty good. I had one midget win before last season. I don't race these too often. This was the first time I've ever been at this card track, so it was just getting the luck of the invert, and then just be able to figure out if I backed into the corner. It was a little bit different than driving with a wing. I was making it work, so as long as the top was there, I felt strong, but I didn't like buried in the wall there at the last restart.
All right, man. Well, this is going to go ahead and bring you your first win here. Really, this is going to be quite the night here tonight that we're going to have. We got the 410 division coming up, and you won that last week. How how do these compare to the 410s?
They're definitely, you have to drive them a lot differently because you have the wing to hold it to the ground, but in the slick, it's all about throttle control. So same thing will be in the 410s. Those are probably my second favorite car to the 360 wing cars. So look to be strong again in the 410s.
All right, man. 410s are up next. So go ahead and give me a shout out. So let's get you ready.
Training Wheels Racing, you for putting on the broadcast, Roger for running the league.
Yeah, that was a blast, man. You did just barely squeeze him out there, but that was a race right at the line. Fantastic job tonight here, and can't wait to see what you got coming up next, man. Oh, yeah. All right, that is Patrick Spangler there. He's getting ready for the 410s. Rob, first time you joining me here in the booth for the Coast to Coast Racing League. For the viewers out there as well, we're going to cut away for a quick commercial. We'll run down the 410 League, where we'll end up being will be at Kokomo. So these guys are going to get lined up for that track. I heard a lot of guys say that is their favorite track, so we'll get that one under our get that one run down, and we'll be right back.
This October, Some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Oswego Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
Welcome back, everybody. These guys are just out there going ahead and getting a few laps in on the 410s here. It's going to be a good pile up for these so far. They just came out of the wingless. A couple of the guys are going to join us here. Patrick Spangler loading in. We had just won our last race. Looks like Grandy will not be joining us. Randy Shreves, I do not see him. Yes, he is. There he is out there on the track. Robert Rader still joining me here up in the booth. Really, what a blast that was for the first race. Nail-biter right there to the end.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for much more than we got at the end of the last race. Nice clean racing all the way to the line. Photo finish. About as good as it gets. I'm excited to see what they can do with a little extra downforce now.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome here. Appreciate everybody joining us here at the Coast to Coast Racing League. If you're looking for other racers that enjoy racing without all the drama and name-calling of normal iRacing, come out and join the Coolray Coast to Coast Racing League. We have over 16 divisions that race 16 divisions that race 7 days a week and broadcast at least 12 of them. Members know that they're a part of something bigger than just on-the-track experience. Go to www.c2crl.com, then click Apply to join the action, where the cars are virtual and the racing's real. All right, man, this is going to go ahead and wrap up here in just a second. So far, it seems like a little short of a field here tonight. Only about 10 of them, so this may be broken into a 5-on-5 heat so far. I don't know if some of these guys are kind of taking a little bit of time, saving their energy for the NASCAR race later tonight. That is going to be a blast. Definitely a tumble up for some of those poor guys out there, because it was definitely interesting to see how it unfolded here just for the wingless. Now we're going to definitely, get even faster. Now we're going to put a wing on them, and we're still on a track that's less than a quarter of a mile.
Less than a quarter of a mile, but we have a fair amount of straightaway here, which means we have some very, very tight corners. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, definitely here at Kokomo, 65 degrees on the track, 74 air temperature, so that's looking pretty good for these guys here so far tonight. We'll have to see, really, Rob, interesting to think about, when you race one dirt race, and then you race another dirt race, and then you're going to go to asphalt, what do you save your energy for, or do you just try to put it all on the line all at once?
I feel like, dirt racing's, the races are so short that, you're probably all right. But the difficult part, I think, is just trying to pick up a new car so quickly. You go and run a wingless sprint there in the last race. Now we're running 410s in this one, which drive completely different. And now when this one's over, we're going to go and do truck series at Charlotte, asphalt, totally different type of racing. I mean, I just don't know how you acclimate quickly between the different types of racing, but they do a pretty good job here.
That they do, and it looks like practice should be winding up here pretty soon. And I think they're going to go ahead and start checking out here in just a little bit. Get ready to go ahead and start qualifying here. So far, I'm only showing 10 souls out here on the track looking to go ahead and give this one a shot. Looks like Devo Ross made it, Brandon Dittmer, Floro, Randy Shreves, Bob DeGood, Terry Landis, Dan McLaren, Jeff Barker made it, Jason Sams, and Patrick Spangler. But they may have a little hiccup in the system. Go ahead and get their way out here on the track. 7:45, we should be going. Out there in the chat, boy, you guys really kill me out there. It says, he said, Nicholas Alves, let's go down to Nick in the pits. Hi, Patrick and Rob. It's very dirty down here. Back to you guys in the booth.
That's the type of insight you can only get from somebody like Nick.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's only going to be able to see half the track. All right, here we go. Looks like these guys are going to go ahead and get lined up here. We'll see what's going on.
Actually, sorry to butt in again. I always something every week.
Oh, boy. Alrighty. Alrighty, sorry about that, everybody. And right now, I just got a little bit from Race Control out there, kind of saying that the server is doing what iRacing does best and kind of locked into the wrong setup. Drivers are not happy about that. Race Control has it squared away. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do something you guys don't like, is me having to cut to commercial and try to and bring you back yet again. But this one shouldn't be as bad, but we will be right back.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide.
we go. Bam, we are back. Finally back in the correct room. Seems iRacing has gone ahead and fouled that one up there a little bit. Going to go ahead and straighten this back out. Guys, I see you out there in the chat. Keep it clean, but always be happy about it. Kevin Orlando, if you want to come run the wing sprints, man, go ahead and give it a shot. I think these guys will definitely put you in the backfield. I had a little chat with Rob up here in the booth. He said wouldn't be any surprise to see you a few laps down by the end. Looks like
I didn't quite say that, but I guess it was close.
Alrighty. Looks like Dan McLaren, Jeff Barker, these guys are out here on the track, so everything's looking good for these cars out here. They're going to run a few more practice laps to start breaking in Kokomo a little bit here to give it another run. Hopefully they are able to kind of collect everybody up that we had before. Unfortunately, it would be kind of difficult. I think we're just trying to make sure we had everybody in the last room that we had here. Gotta love it. And that's one thing, Rob, about, simulation racing. In real life, I don't think many people show up to the wrong track.
No, and I mean, if you have the wrong setup in the car, typically it's just your problem, not a problem for the whole field. So, it's just some of the little intricacies and fun little things that go along with running a sim racing league. It's pretty much every league I've ever run in has had moments like this, where you just have little hiccups, but no big deal. Fortunately, you can just get another one set up. It costs you another $1.25, but you'll be all right.
All right, man. Hopefully some of these guys are going to kind of wrap it up here so we can get this one underway. We are a little behind the 8 ball here at this point. I know green flag we're supposed to get going about 7:45, but a little bit of difficult job there before, but hopefully we're able to kind of keep this squared away here. I know this was definitely not what we want to see, but just a quick reminder, we are in the 410s here tonight. So to me, these are the big bad boys. I love watching these guys go around the track. Kevin Orlando wouldn't be surprised either. Just be happy to keep her wheels down. Yeah, it's definitely possible, especially in the midgets or the wingless. Those things do pop up and get around all over the place. But maybe something you might be interested in there, Kevin. So maybe you're saying you're not as fast as Coast2Coast has a racing school. You can check out the Coast2Coast Racing School, where the league's top drivers have volunteered to help league drivers improve their driving skills, free of charge. They will actually be offering it on various skill sets such as qualifying, driving lines, driver awareness, and setup advice. So if you go to c2crl.com, you can schedule a session and go ahead and get out there and feel a lot more confident. Looks like the white flag is out, so qualifying will begin. Gonna see how well these guys do out here on the track. So far, I'm seeing 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 drivers here so far in the room. I think we lost one in transition, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll see him for the NASCAR race. Another NASCAR race last week, I believe we had over 32 drivers. Definitely a stacked field for Talladega. But here we go. We will be moving into a shorter track to Charlotte. Man, just as I say that, why do I have a sudden feeling that is the incorrect track?
That's as advertised. So I mean, we'll go there. We'll see what happens.
All right, I know that is. Oh, I know I'm right. I know we're heading to Charlotte. I was worried about last week. Oh man, last Tuesday.
Michigan.
I knew it. Man, just as I thought about it, I was like, man, I think we were the wrong track. Yeah, Michigan, man. They all went all super speedways, but now they're going to shrink it down and try to stick it at Charlotte, so that should be a good run there.
Yeah, that'll be an entertaining race for sure.
All right, Donovan Devo Ross goes ahead and secures a top spot there. Jeff Floro in the 200. Let's see if he's got a good paint scheme on his here tonight. Normally he's running a solid white car. Not here tonight. Looks like he's got it painted up pretty well there.
Yeah, that lap's not going to count because he caught the wall there before he got to the line.
Oof.
That may be his only shot there, so not ideal for him.
Boy, a 5th place spot for Spangler. That's going to be a bummer for him, especially winning last week. Hopefully he's kind of able to turn his luck around. Right now we are still waiting on Brandon Dittmer and Dan McLaren to get out here and qualify.
We'll see what they got, because Ross is a quarter of a second ahead of second place and half a second ahead of third right now.
Yeah. Donovan Ross definitely very, very fast out of his 5 machine here so far. Boy, a lot of things coming up in the works here at Coast to Coast Racing League. I know they're putting a bunch on. If I believe if you're, I think if you're over the age of 40, I think they have a retreads group. They run a veteran group here. So a lot of different divisions, and depending on what you like to do, if you like road racing, I think they even race on the weekends on Saturday and Sundays as well. No,
they do it all.
Yeah, I know. I know. I've been on Mondays and Thursdays with Marty Zakala, and I knew I was in the booth Tuesdays normally with John Hine. But glad to have you here, Rob. Those guys wish you would do it on Wednesdays. You know, that way you would stay off the track. But I know how you are. There's no place. There can't be two number ones. That would make 11. All right, qualifying is rounding up here. So that is going to go ahead and bring our first heat coming right up. Definitely going to be a blast here. I'm waiting to see how the lineup starts. Go ahead and get right to it. Wait for somebody to get on the track here. Everybody a little laggy here. There we go. Here they come. Everybody getting on the track. Jeff Barker's going to go ahead and bring out the starting lineup here for Heat 1. Patrick Spangler will be in second. Terry Landis third. Donovan Ross fourth. And Dan McLaren will be in the fifth position. Dan McLaren decided not to qualify, so we'll see how he ends up for the rest of the race. This is Heat 1. And Heat 1, of course, brought to you by Langton Mechanical. Langton Mechanical is a second to none. They are a heat and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area and promise their customers their own professionally trained Langton specialists will be there professionally every step of the way. They guarantee your customer satisfaction from start to finish, including sales, installation, and the maintenance service of your heating or cooling system. Keep in mind that every one of those equipment sales, installation, and maintenance service call is backed 100% by Langton. So these guys are going to go ahead and back up everything 100%. I can't say that about sometimes the iRacing Connection or the races out here, 100% that somebody is going to win. But Patrick Spangler in that 39 definitely looking to turn his luck around, especially with a fifth place qualifying. So we'll see how he gets this one underway. Looks like we are already under green flag, and away we go here, Rob.
Another 10 out of 10 sponsor readout too there, Patrick. But yes, here we go. Oh man, really close there. You know, it's really tight corners, and if you're trying to run the bottom, that just seems really deadly down there.
Yeah, very, very deadly. And you want to talk about distance. Right now, Patrick Spangler, I know my tower up there is kind of mixing up on you guys. He's about a second and a half ahead. He just ran a 10.5 second lap here, so I don't know if he was maybe trying to qualify middle of the field to get a good preferred heat. So, but right now, it seems to be working out perfectly for him as he's getting around here. Landis back to fourth. Jeff Barker back 4 positions. Now running around back in the 5th. So definitely something to see here. Only 2 laps to go in this one. This is starting to be kind of a tough one to call. These other guys are getting pretty spread out here.
I mean, it's green flag, white flag, checkered flag, man. 10-second laps, 5 laps. I mean, it happens really, really quick around here.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Spangler, Ross, McLaren, Landis, and Jeff Barker round out our 5. That was fast. That was a lot faster than I expected there. So that's going to bring out our second heat here. Of course, brought to you by Magnum Race Designs. But really, so few out here. So far, we got Brandon Dittmer, Randy Shreves, Bob DeGood, and Jeff Laro here will be our 1, 2, 3, and 4. These guys are just going to kind of get used to riding around next to each other. No one will be eliminated here tonight in the 410 division. So these guys are going to get their way around. Barney getting warmed up there with the green flag. Hopefully my tower is straightened out for you guys. That way everything looks good. Didn't like the way it looked before. That was kind of crummy.
Yeah, just a little leftover stuff, you know, mix it around between sessions, restarting sessions, all that type of stuff. It just plays havoc, but fortunately looks like we got everything cleared up now.
Yep. All right, and that is going to go ahead and have our pace truck heading off here in just a little bit. Our pace truck brought to you by the Steve King Foundation was formed to help the dirt track racing community across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, racing officials, track operations personnel, or the immediate families of those individuals who suffer serious illness, injury, or death. Right now, I think any kind of injury is what Randy Shreves wanting to put here on Brandon Dittmer. Kind of hurt his pride there a little bit. See if he can break away, get in the favorable spot there on the outside.
Oh, man.
And he does. 56 breaks away now. We are up here in the Ace Designs drone view. Getting a good move by them.
For that, I guess.
What's
Gonna
that?
take it to pit road.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear we got a caution for that there. He just tried to cook it in there and get to the top, slide job him, and just a little miscalculation there.
Yeah, absolutely not. There are no cautions in the heat, so they keep them going here. But Ace Design and 3D provide rendering similar to what iRacing does for the NASCAR Coke Series. They'll be providing actual free rendering to the winner of each week's Hometown Hero 305 series. Good to see out of that. I think everybody likes a little good free stuff out there.
It's no better advertising than getting your product out there and getting people familiar with what you're doing.
Yeah, man. Really, take a look here at Randy Shreves. You know, he got a third-place finish in that last session and really getting a good way around the track this time.
Yeah, he's gone. That stack up at the beginning definitely broke the field up, but, I mean, he looked to have plenty of pace before that as well.
Yeah. Broke away by a second and a half. That puts DeGood in second, Floro in third. But the fastest time on the track was Floro of a 10.7, which was considerably faster than Shreves of his best of an 11.47.
And both of those are significantly off of qualifying, although they do use different setups for qualifying than they do the race, so that would be to be expected to a degree.
Yeah, man. But that's going that's going to be different. See how well these guys get around the track here. This will bring our 3-minute warm-up here. Last one for the night. Our Flatline Racing Bodies will actually be our sponsor here for the warm-up. Quality racing bodies produced by former NASCAR Regional Short Track Champion Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. Boy, these guys come up with some good stuff here, but 21 Designs is sponsoring the 410 series here tonight, along with the Gambler Motorsports Topside Tuesdays. I know last year it was actually Topless Tuesdays, but I think they kind of went a little more friendly and went with Topside.
I prefer the former, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yes, we shall. I'm definitely excited to see who ends up getting away with this one right now out there on the track. Spangler right now once again with the fastest time. Hopefully looking to see if he can get this one turned around just a little bit. Like I said, he won last week. And he's been doing very well here in the 410. So far, he's got 2 wins here on the 410 season out of 3 races. The only other winner was Steven Goldner. But he has been way back. He participated in 1 race and won that race. And we've yet to see him since. So hopefully he is able to return to actually give Patrick Spangler, see if he can slow this 39 car down. Definitely, he's got this thing on a rail. I mean, this thing is just going around wherever he wants it to. And it was interesting to see, him not getting the pole during qualifying. But like I said, I think it was setting up for the heats there.
Yeah, it could very well be strategy, and he saw him really quick there in the previous race as well at I-55. So, looking to sweep the night.
Yeah, I want to take a look here at Randy Shreves as he's kind of getting around here just a little bit. Take a look at the right front suspension here and show you where that wall cuts away. He kind of rides up real close to that spot. And he's got to, keep in mind what he's doing there. If these guys are bumping and banging, you get pushed through there, your night's done. There's no coming back from that. Yeah, see, he kind of preloads.
That's how you end up in a YouTube short, is being a little too high on corner entry right there. Make for some good television, not where you want to be.
I do promote people's good spots. I know you were one of them, putting that move there on leveling for the second place position. Really, that was actually almost a come from behind, and he was so deflated there at the end. I felt so bad for him, but I mean, racing's racing. There's only so much you can do here, but that is going to wrap it up here for the warm-up. These guys are going to go ahead, see if they can clean the dirt out of their shoes and get gridded up here soon as they are ready. Yes, they are. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Patrick Spangler going to bring us right to the green flag for his first start here. See if he can continue his race wins so far 2 weeks in a row, will he make it 3? Randy Shreves will be starting on the outside of him. Donovan Ross in the 5 car starting 3rd. Bob DeGood will be 4th. Looks like Dan McLaren's going to be 5th. Jeff Floro, 6th position for him. Looks like Terry Landis is going to land himself back in the 7th position. Brandon Dittmer 8th. And Jeff Barker, unfortunately, starting all the way back here in the 9th position. Hopefully he's able to kind of get cranked up and up toward the front. Especially after some of those warm-ups that we saw. It may be a good idea for Jeff Barker to be back here. Let them kind of deal with their their issues up front, square themselves away, get a few cars bent up, and I got a solid top 5 without even trying.
It seems like a one-lane racetrack. I guess we'll see what it looks like in race conditions, and especially with having guys forced to take the bottom to start here. But it really seems like the top is way faster than anywhere else on track, and it's just going to be a battle for the right line.
Yeah, battle we shall see. Especially when we saw Spangler take over Joseph Grandy in that last race. Randy Shreves was 3rd, so these guys right next to each other, man. I'm curious to see where they could be. Randy Shreves last week ended up 2nd place to Patrick Spangler, so these guys have raced right side by side, and I believe Dan McLaren's around.
Yeah, McLaren got a few around over here.
Yeah, McLaren, Barker, and I believe Landis may have gotten tangled up.
Caution didn't come out for that one either, so fortunately those guys get back going before the field catches back up to them.
Yeah, as we're taking a quick look here at Spangler and Shreves here for the lead. Spangler, look at that
slider.
Man, what a shot. Good move. As he works his way there toward the outside, let's take a little look here from farther out. Kind of take that look at his line. The outside line worked perfectly.
Shreves with a big slider there on Ross as well.
Wow. Yeah, Devo there trying his best to see if he can take it away from Shreves, but Shreves just chops him right off at the knees, cuts underneath of him, and takes it away. This is only 5 laps into this one, Rob. This is going to be tough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the top line is dominant, and it looks like it's pretty sketchy up there, too. You see, it seems like some guys are faster, one set of corners, and the next guy's getting the better of them in the next set of corners. Kind of see this interesting line. I see a few guys kind of trying to do this as well. We have our first caution out now.
Oh, man, that looks like Dan McLaren got that one. Wing is still on his car, so he may survive. Let's go ahead and get right to that replay. Let's see what happens here. Oop, oop, oop.
That'll do it. That's 1, 2, 3.
Cool.
And lands it. Yeah, looks fine.
Cartwheels. Every one of them cartwheels. Let me see if I can do this fast enough. Let's see. Let's take a look at Dan McLaren here. Let's ride along with him.
Yeah, just a little too hot corner entry, and over she goes. Yeah, stay in it. There you go.
That's crazy.
Like nothing ever happened.
Yep, like nothing happened. That's what I was just getting ready to say. Like nothing happened. He just kept on going. That is the craziest. But he survives after that rollover. Looking here at Randy Shreves in the 2nd position. We'll have to see if he can kind of turn his luck around. Like I said, hopefully see if he can get pushed up front here. I know he wants to see if he can break that win streak here, Rob, but I just don't know.
I noticed in our previous race that he was getting really good restarts compared to some of the cars around him. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get a good restart on Spangler here, have an opportunity to do the slide job down into turn 1.
Yeah, now that he's got him caught back up. Oh,
and I jinxed him on that one. Little struggle off the line there.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was thinking it may have been a jam up there. He didn't want to get rear-ended there by Devo in the 5 car behind him. Oh boy, Randy Shreves kind of getting a little kind of a rough line here.
Yeah, they're racing hard back here.
Yeah, last week we actually saw them racing at Lernerville, from what it said, and he was riding the right side tires up on the mud embankment and using it to bank into the beginning of his turns, which was blew me away. He was picking up almost 2/10 doing that to get him started to turn, which was, I mean, just that was amazing. I asked him about it. I don't know. I just tried it. So I guess sometimes you just give it a go, but here we are with only 19 laps to go. Spangler is now putting on a clinic here. 4-second lead. He is broken away from the field here. Let's kind of zoom out and you'll see where 2nd shows up. There they are.
Yeah, at this rate he'll be having to deal with lap traffic, and with it being a 1-lane track, if they're up there running the top, it could get really interesting really quick.
Yeah, he is just blowing the doors off this track. think next time they're going to put some weight in that car to try to slow him down here.
Yeah, we might need to take a closer look and inspection after the race here with how fast he's being, but caught the wall there a little bit that time, maybe a little bit there too. There's just the cushion's so small up next to the wall here at this track, and these guys are having to be really precise to make the lap time as it cautions out again.
Oh, that shaving off over a 5.5 second lead here.
That one's gonna hurt.
Here we're looking at Dan McLaren in the 88. I know he's having a little trouble getting that one. It says Terry Landis had a problem here too. Let's see if we're having Landis. Hopefully this inside line didn't kind of... Whoop.
Just a little too hot, but no harm, no foul there.
Alright, just kind of stopped him there. Okay, well, at least Terry Landis didn't get torn up. But remember what I said, you know, about guys kind of being in the back and waiting to get their way forward. Unfortunately, Jeff Barker was unable to do that. I believe he's back here still in the 8th position, 2 laps down. McLaren is out for the race. And, you know, you got Terry Landis. I believe Terry Landis is up to the 4th position, I believe. 3rd or 4th.
We'll see once everything cycles out here.
Yep. But Patrick Spangler still holding our lead right now. Good moves so far by Jeff Floro. We're showing him up in the 2nd position here.
Yeah, he's made his way up through the field, nice and clean. I think with how much difficulty they've had to start the race, it's a good sign that we haven't talked about him yet. But here he is in 2nd place with a good shot. Green flag's back out.
There he goes. And out there in the chat, Isaac Salas, he did win the Renegades last night. Forgive me. Upload me as we're here at the race. You talk about Spangler winning the race here. Well, because the way he goes, man, he is really, he's really blowing the doors off this place. If he won at the Renegades, this will be one of those things that always gets me about real, NASCAR drivers that are out there. Is they, if they're good at Charlotte, they put him in 7 cars out there, and he wins all 7, and just kind of takes the wind out of everybody's sails. But in these winged cars, you're changing the size of the tire, you're changing the engine size, so it's not always the same car out there as well. But I guess if you own a track, come out here and own it every night.
Yeah, it reminds me of Kyle Larson. He goes to those big time dirt racing events, and he'll enter 2-3 different races, different types of vehicles, go out and dominate in all of them. As we say that, he's actually in the wall, almost wrecks it there off the corner, and here comes Flaro.
Yep, Flaro has a chance here.
Now Spangler's lost the preferred line at the top, although he's able to get back up there before Flaro gets there. Give him another opportunity to hold on to the lead now, but that was almost disaster with how difficult it is to pass. You cannot make that mistake very many times.
Yeah, as I get the Simtrax drone footage out there, you kind of look at how at the distance he puts on him so fast. I mean,
he hit the wall there, and it was bad for him, but he's not getting any further away from it. That didn't make him any more afraid of the wall, so yeah. He's still giving it everything he's got there.
Also notice this right rear tire here. Look at the shelf that he's kind of hitting there. He's kind of getting up on it, down, off, bound, up, oop, clips the wall. So yeah, he doesn't really have a solid line he can run here. He's kind of having to play with it a little bit because it keeps moving. Man, he gets close to that wall when he comes into 3 and 4 here, but he's only got 4 left to go. I want to take a look here at that right front suspension like we always saw with Randy Shreves. Boy, he gets close.
The driver in me wants him to look back, see he has a 4-second lead, and just dial it down just a little bit. But, when you're in the car, you give it everything that you got every lap.
Yeah, I mean, one bad wall nudge here, and it could put Flaro back in contention yet again. But Flaro just absolutely seeing the rooster tail right now that Patrick Spangler is leaving on the track. Right now, he is on a tear here tonight. I bet you he wishes NASCAR Cup trucks were racing here because he definitely want to own it again.
Yeah, no doubt. Here through 3 and 4 for the final time, Patrick.
Wow, that is going to bring Spangler, Flaro, and Ross 1, 2, and 3. Holy cow.
Dominant.
What a
dominant performance there.
Absolute clinic he put on the track here. That was amazing. Absolute clinic here on the track. I mean, I wouldn't want to say that for most, but that was there was no chance. I didn't see a soul out there with a chance to really put this one on, and they just left him.
Yeah, I mean, we're running 11-second laps in the race there, and you win by 5.5 seconds. You're half a track ahead of the field. It's a dominant performance. That's one you can hang your cap on there.
Definitely for sure. And that is actually going to line him up for 3 wins in a row here at the track. That is an amazing job by him securing this one. But that is going to put Donovan Ross here in 3rd place. See if we can.
I want to see Spangler go out and win the truck race now. Just sweep the whole night, 3 for 3.
Yeah, that would be something. That would be something. Let's see where Mr. Ross is.
Ross is here now.
I think that's what happens. I think I start looking for these guys, and then they come up here.
They move on you right as soon as you start scrolling through.
Absolutely, every time. I believe Jeff Flaro is not ready, but hopefully he'll assume the position up here and go ahead and
track
get
him down.
His way underway. And let's see if we can have a little chat here with Donovan Ross. Man, all right, Donovan Ross. This race, you started 3rd, ended 3rd. Is this kind of where you wanted to be for the race here, bud?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Just it's like Patrick. He's pretty good. He's a man amongst boys in this group. We just need some more laps on this short track slick stuff. I run out of patience pretty quick, and you either end up in the wall or go backwards.
All right, man. Well, definitely Kokomo is a tough one to kind of get under control. It being so short and having such powerful vehicles out here, it definitely takes its toll, like you said, on the patience and kind of really a good way to aim out here. But good move by you here so far. Up into the top 3, you're able to survive. Right now, I believe, you, Mr. Donovan Ross, I do not see you.
Yeah,
Is this your first race here, bud?
Yeah. No, I normally don't run this night, but yeah, all in all, good enough night.
Oh, wow. All right, bud. Well, hey, not bad for going ahead and starting your first one here in the division. I was going to say, I've seen you on Thursdays. I thought I've seen you other places, but I've never seen you here in the 410s. So I was just making sure I was not overlooking that. But great job here tonight, bud. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs.
I just thank Roger for the league and you guys for the broadcast, and we'll see you in the trucks. Put some fenders on this thing and see what we can do.
There you go, and hopefully be able to, everybody stays on the track this time. I know the past couple of weeks have been a tangle up, so hopefully you guys are able to kind of get it settled down. But Charlotte's a tough one, man. So great job there, Devo, and we'll talk to you later, bud.
All right, have a good night.
All right, Donovan Ross in the 5 car. Gets it done. I do not see Mr. Flaro out here. In the 200. I do not see him. So he may have checked out for tonight, which means we're going to move straight on to our race winner here so far. Patrick Spangler yet again. Man, this guy. Patrick Spangler in the 39. All right, that's 2 wins tonight, and this will be your 3rd for the 410s. Does it stop for you?
Yeah, if I ran trucks, it would definitely stop. But no, I use the 410s. I'm trying out that pro qualifier next week on Monday night, so I use this as a practice. So just try to keep it strong on top throughout the night as the track gets slicker.
All right, man. Well, we kind of took a peek at you kind of chasing along behind. You were on and off that top shelf that was building up there along the wall. How difficult was it trying to kind of contend with the track kind of breaking down on you there?
It caught me 2 or 3 times, got into the wall, and then the one time I almost spun out. I was trying to run as hard as I could against the wall without getting into it, just so I can build up that rhythm. Hopefully carry that into Weed Sport next week with that 410 qualifier.
All right, man. Well, this, like I said, man, you're a man on the move, a man on the mission right now. Like I said, here it is. You finish another race, another win, and really, it's almost you can almost cruise to the end at this point for this season. And I can't, it's awesome, man. I can't wait to see. It's got to be so much easier finishing first every week.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish this out, the 410s at least, with 0 incidents, trying my best to keep it out of other guys and out of the wall. So, set that as my goal for right now for the 410s.
All right, bud. Well, go in and give me your shout-outs, man. Let's go ahead and get you wrapped up for the night.
Yep, you guys for putting on the broadcast, Roger for putting on the league, Training Wheels Racing, dad and uncle back home watching, the wife here watching, and yeah.
All right, bud. Well, good job tonight, man. Really, it's a win-win-win for you so far, but we'll see what you got for us next week, bud. Good job.
Sounds good. Talk to you later.
All right, Patrick Spangler in the 39 goes ahead and owns it for another one here tonight. You guys getting pretty used to this, riding along here with me. You as well, Robert Rader. We're going to go right here. Back to commercial. Don't go away. We're going now to the asphalt out there in the chat. Nick Alves oval time. I don't know how much of an oval Charlotte is. I'm fairly certain it's a little more of a D shape, but that's okay. I'm just going to give you a hard time out there. But we will be right back, and don't go away.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Oswego Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Definitely a fancy race for us out here tonight. We saw Bob Light getting a little bit of trouble at Michigan last week. Hopefully he's able to turn his luck around with the races he had. Believe Dan McLaren actually won last week's race. Andrew Smith came second. Jason Sams third. Robert Lynch ended up fourth. Jack Clevenger ended up in fifth. Good move for him. Steven Bixler was sixth. Tim Chapman was seventh. Neil Strausser was eighth. Richard Holland ended up ninth, and 10th was Jeremy Tate. A few of these guys are showing up right now. I'm not seeing Jeremy Tate is in pit right now. Steven Bixler's out here. He's running around out there in the 75 Chevrolet. We'll see how well he gets going on out there. I know a couple of you guys out there in the chat. You guys are pretty excited about NASCAR racing out here. I know you were really excited here, Rob, as you I believe you held a couple records here at Charlotte. In the Racing Revolution League.
Yeah, it's a really cool racetrack. I'd be lying if I said it was one of my favorites, but for some reason I'm just good here. And what makes this track really interesting is that it's fast, mile-and-a-half track, but both sides of the track are a little bit different. In turn 1, you can really dive down in there a lot harder than you can turn 3. This feels a little tighter down in turn 3 and 4. You know, these trucks are a little more forgiving than some other stock car series at this racetrack, so I expect to see some good racing.
Yeah, especially turn 4. Everybody says you got to watch out for that tunnel turn coming out of 4 and then down the front stretch. These guys, they've got to be careful not to hit the grass. One, I know I got in a wreck with Kevin Orlando out there. I think we had a little miscommunication of how to drive on a straight line or kind of give each other a little room, but the 27 Mellow Yellow definitely folded me to pieces, but but it's different places on the track. It's just so dangerous in every turn. It's got quality banking. These trucks hook up really well, getting around, getting around the track here. It's just these guys just have to be a lot more careful than they have been in the past few weeks. First we were at Daytona, then we were at Talladega, and then we ended at Michigan. So these guys, this is their chance this time to actually shrink this track down a little bit smaller, getting down to about, that mile-and-a-half mark like you said. And these guys just have to be very, very careful because it's not as forgiving as most super speedways.
Yeah, that the dog leg on the front straightaway is difficult. So you get through a tight entry into 3, you get things sorted out, and then it tightens up again off of 4. And then you have to try to figure out how to go side by side through this double kink down the front straightaway. And it can be difficult, especially I know a lot of these guys here are dirt guys first and foremost. They don't exactly, they're not advertising that they're the greatest stock car oval drivers in the world, right? So, it's difficult trying to get through there side by side sometimes, and I'd be really surprised if we don't see that come into effect tonight.
Yeah, no, that's only you who says you're out there being the best one on the track every night.
And I don't say it, okay?
No, I just inflate your head too much up here in the booth, but really, this is going to be awesome here for the Coast2Coast Racing League here as well. I'm interested to see what these guys can put on. Looks like we're taking a little ride here with Jason Sams here on the inside, kind of seeing how this track handles for him. He seems to have it kind of down here, but when you're side by side or you're nudging that 3 wide condition with somebody pressuring down toward the bottom, and it's definitely going to change your line. So out there kind of running single file has no problem. Let's take a little look here at what we've got for our race conditions here tonight. Excited to see, man. Charlotte is special to me, man. I love Charlotte. This is one of my favorite tracks. Especially if a network or any kind of a racing league is holding it, man. That has got to be the one for me, or one I almost have to participate in. But these guys, really, with as stacked of a field as it is, there is no room for me. I know they have room for you. I see 25 drivers loaded in right now. Isaac Salas had a heck of a shot there last week, but hopefully he's able to turn his luck around this week. Track temperature, Rob, is at 77 degrees. Air temperature is 74. What does that mean for our tires here, bud?
It's great conditions for a race. I mean, it's about as neutral as you're going to get. Just right dead in the middle. And we're using the... looks like we're using a tweaked setup tonight, so I'm sure that they've practiced with this setup here in order to see what we've got. So it should be good. It should have plenty of grip. It's not so cold that we won't have, a bunch of tire fall off or anything. So looking forward to it.
definitely excited to see what we got here. Do have the timer up top. Yes, it shows about 37 minutes of practice time. There's their allotted time. We will actually start qualifying at 8:45. So we got a little bit of time to go ahead and kind of spitball around up here and talk about what we got coming up here at Charlotte. Sponsored by Tim Chapman Racing here. And Tim Chapman, I believe he is not on the track right now. I think he's actually sitting in pit. Oh, no. So he's going to try to see if he can get that one squared away. All right. Let's see what we who else we have out here on the track. All right. Looks like I am looking at the 49 Chevrolet of Dean Meitzler here.
I'll take an eye at that, see what's going on here. Now, it's worth keeping in mind that dirty air does come into effect here. The trucks are not that bad about it, but it definitely still exists. So, it's going to be difficult to follow right in the tire tracks, but at Charlotte, you can really go anywhere you want. In these trucks, in my experience, I found that in turn 3 and 4, the top side is fastest, especially after you get some laps on the tires. And then down in turn 1 and 2, the bottom is normally where you want to be, so these guys are going to have a lot of options, and it should make for a good race.
All right, I love when you bring that up. Dirty air, man. Talk to me. I mean, you said dirty air is going to be a problem. How much of a problem are we talking? I mean, is it going to... Are we losing engine power? Are these things going to get loose? What should we expect to see?
Well, you lose downforce on the front of the truck, so you're going to go down in the corner. You're going to be right behind the guy in front of you, and you're just going to have a little less grip than he is. The car's not going to turn as good as his does, and it's going to make you want to search around. Now, if you're way faster than that guy in front of you, a lot of times you can overcome that dirty air deficit and, go ahead and complete the pass without any issues. But if you're really even with the guy in front of you, you're going to have to search around this track if you want to pass him because he's going to have the clean air advantage.
Yeah. Now, really, we are running 50 laps here. Really, what is the best strategy at this point? I mean, if we get a good long green flag runs, is tire wear going to be considerable?
Yeah, I mean, tire wear here is kind of in the middle of potential tire wear. It's more than some places, less than some others, especially in these conditions weather-wise. But, if you get 7-8 laps on tires, I think you probably want to come down and put four tires on if you have them to put on the car.
All right. Well, definitely something to keep in mind. You know what I mean? It's really, there's so many different angles. I don't know that many about dirt, but here it's, your angle matters, your tire wear matters, your set, and just how many things can go wrong. I mean, you can have a slide through your pit box and your night's over. You know what I mean? You had a top 5 spot, and now you're gambling around back there in the 16th to 20th position. That's not where you want to be. Looks like we got a couple more guys loading in here. We're up to 27 here. Dale White and Richard Holland finally joined us. Looking good. Everybody out there. Yep, go ahead.
Another thing worth mentioning, Patrick, is that this racetrack for some reason has a much bigger advantage for the first pit stall, or I guess you should say that the last pit stall on pit road. The one closest to the end of pit road is about 3 feet away from the pit exit line. So whoever qualifies first is going to have a major advantage for any pit stops that we do have tonight. Now, you can pick up 2, maybe 3 spots if those guys have a little bit of trouble, just because you have that very final pit stall on pit road. So that's something to keep an eye out for here as well. And getting that pole position is going to be important.
Definitely. And right now, out there on the track, Isaac Salas is our fastest guy out there. Right now, he's sitting down pit, not turning any more laps. He's already just, slung a few of them there. Looks like everybody's got a little bit of a, whoa. He's there by the 19 Brandon Ishcanyon there. Have to see, hopefully he's doesn't do that during the race, because that is not what you want to see there.
They've got a nice little pack of trucks right here, giving us a little preview of what we might see in the race.
Yeah. And in iRacing, you guys call those, what, pit parties? It's where everybody kind of lines up and then go out there and kind of simulate a race?
Yeah, it's a fun thing to do in practice sometimes, to get an idea of race conditions, just get a handful of guys together and organize to come out on the track at the same time, so you can kind of simulate those race conditions, get an idea of what you're getting ready to get yourself into, because the car drives completely differently by yourself than it does when you're in a pack of trucks like this. If we got one in the wall, hang on to it.
Yeah.
That's not the last time we'll see that tonight, Patrick.
No, it won't be. I know. I know we've ended up about over 8 cautions most of the times, but I think these guys are looking to kind of turn it around here tonight, get it cleaned up, get their way back forward. I know it was they were pretty strict, I believe, the first race. I think once it got up to 12 incidences, they had drive-throughs, and boy, you want to talk about a lot of fast guys up front. Nudge here, bump there, hit the wall here, and then they were in the back of the field, so they kind of did away with that and trying to see if they can clean it up here on the track. I wanted to give a little shout out here to Preston Cranmer here in the 07 Chevrolet. Just overcome hip surgery, so it looks like he is able to fit back into the sim and give it a run tonight. So hopefully he's able to overcome that here tonight. That's going to be really good out of him. And I know we have something coming up for him. If you guys remember at Daytona, yeah, he ended up slinging so far into the atmosphere, man, he almost didn't land. People thought he was looking for his zip code went on his way back down, but it looks like Preston Cranmer may have a chance here to come away with this one. I know he's a fast driver. He was able to get his way up there. He's just kind of one of those ones I'm talking about. He just got pinched, and then that was it. iRacing couldn't take any more from that. Neil Strausser in the 4, in the 68 Ford here, running 9th. So really kind of it's interesting to see what kind of different lines guys are driving. Some are being a little more favorable and running, about half a car length up the track. Some guys are rubbing that paint there a little bit. Ooh, boy. And then, and then some are riding that high line. And it's really a good thing to see that guys are trying out different parts of this track to, not be surprised. If I'm out there and I'm stuck too wide, I'm used to running the high line. I've practiced. It's not, I only run low line. I don't know what to do. And then we end up crashing out.
Yeah, no, it's always good to search around the track, get an idea of what the conditions are going to be like in different scenarios. Kind of goes along with the pit party thing. You want to try everything so that way you're properly prepared. And on the topic of the incident penalties, I see here looks like we have a DQ at 26x tonight, which hopefully nobody ends up hitting that. Looks like we have 3 fast repairs and 50% fuel for the race, which means we cannot make it to the end without pitting for fuel anyway. So. Should be interesting.
Yes, it will be. We'll see who gets out onto the track first here. Let's take a look here at let's see. I think Preston Cranmer might be moving around here. There he is. Preston Cranmer. He's going to be one of our first guys to get out here and get a good shot for qualifying.
Let's see what kind of times we can put down here.
Yeah, it should be good. I'm interested to see what they can show up with. I know, like I said, those 30-second lap times are looking pretty good, but throw on the qualifying tires and a little more tape on the front and get going here, but see how Preston Cranmer does here.
Yeah, we'll see what his strategy is. See if he runs up top here for the first lap or if he's just going to go straight for a hot lap here. Looks like he's going for it here, lap 1. Trucks can be a little bit deceiving sometimes. Sometimes lap 1's the fastest lap with the truck. Sometimes lap 2's faster for qualifying. So we'll get a good idea here with him.
Yeah, looks like good solid line. He's not really jerking around a lot there. That tunnel turn looked like it crept up on him there a little bit.
Yeah, well, if you're carrying good speed through there in a single car run, you will creep up off the bottom a little bit and head out towards that wall. So that looked pretty good to me. We see some really tight times here after first lap.
And definitely snugging. We'll see if he can clean this one up a little bit. Ooh, ride's a little high here.
Yeah, he's just trying to stay in the throttle. It's going to be a good lap here, I bet.
We'll see where this puts Cranmer in the 07.
Looks like it was just barely better than his previous lap.
Yep. Right now, Neil Strausser fastest on the track. See how Roger Craig's doing out here. Roger Craig in the 747 Chevrolet.
Look at that. We have 3 cars all running a 30.4 flat for second, third, and fourth on the board. This is some really tight qualifying.
Yep, it looks like everybody kind of wrapping it up here. Trying to see if we got anybody else looking to get their way on the track. Zach Chapman's still out there. Looks like we are up to 27 drivers as long as Jeff Floro. He may or may not want to qualify here. Yeah, Jeff Floro is out on the track now. All right, Zach Chapman.
We saw him with some good success earlier in the 410 race. Brought it home second.
Whoa! Look at that move. Zach Chapman up to the second position. That was a fast time. Holy cow.
Yeah, and we have our top 12 cars all within 0.2 of each other here as well, so we're shaping up for a good one.
Yeah, it should be good. I'm really heartbreaking to see if see an early wreck, man. That would be that would be absolutely terrible to see that go. But not. I do want to mention our pole sitter right now, Dan McLaren, up here. He finished in first place last week here. So he's coming off a win streak here, but so far he's got 2 wins on the year. I don't know. It seems he knows what's going on. He has yet to place out of the top 5 for all 3 races, and he's won 2 of them. So the man on the hot streak is him. Timothy Chapman would be our second guy with our other race win. He is actually placed into the 5th position there for qualifying. There you see him there in the 37 Chevrolet. Definitely interesting to see how this is going to work out. Bob Light is 3rd in points. Jason Sams and Neil Strauss are tied for 4th.
Yeah, this is going to be one that could mix it up. This is like we already talked about. It's a tight racetrack. We see. Look at how close these lap times are here for qualifying. It's going to be a battle up front.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm interested. I don't know, man. I don't know about you. I'm ready. I'm ready. Get rid of this qualifying. Let's get to grid. And I'm ready. Let's get it done. Holy cow, man. I don't know why we aren't on the track already. Let's go ahead and get that grid up right now. Dan McLaren's going to lead us off here in row 1 with Zach Chapman. Neil Strausser 3, and Andrew Smith will be in 4th. So these guys out there in the front looking good so far. Let's see if we can get a better shot of these gentlemen up here in the front. Andrew Smith will be 4th. That'll bring us Tim Chapman 5th, Bob Light 6th, Robert Lynch in 7th. Looks like we're going to have Jeff Hallworth in 8th, Brandon Ishcanyon 9th. And Dean, Big Dean, ends up into the 10th position. Good to see him out there. Fortunately, he is going to be able to survive starting this race. Dean Meitzler, Donovan Ross in 11th. We've seen him. Isaac Salas actually way back here in the 12th position. Not looking too good. He's got definitely a different start for him. Preston Kramer will start 13th. Jeffrey Kemper 14th. Jason Sams 15th. Mark Gilbert will be starting 16th. Bill Calder in the 17th position. Mike Cranmer in the 18th position. Boy, look at this field of cars right here. Jeremy Tate in the 19th. Roger Craig 20th. Gary Sigelkow, he ended up in a lot of trouble last week in that 25 red Chevrolet. Hopefully he's able to kind of keep the wheels on the ground this week. Richard Holland will be 22nd. Jeff Floro, 23rd. Terry Landis, we've seen him in the dirt, so here he returns to the asphalt. Dale White will be in the 091 Toyota. Stephen Bixler will be in the 75 Chevrolet, and the 85 Ford of Jacob Butcher will kind of round out the end of our field here. That is going to do it for these guys, and really it's going to be I think it's going to be a good race, but we got a long way to go. We got 50 laps to get it done, and, I mean, even back here, the 26th position, these guys are all within a second. I think Jacob Butcher just had a bad lap there toward the end, but we'll go ahead and say that everybody is, my guess is this is going to be a close one here. And out there in the chat, Sigelkow, that's how you say his name. At
Real quick
25.
before we get started, let's give a shout out to Andrew Smith as well, because I know Nick Alves is a huge Andrew Smith fan, all about that monster machine. We'll see what he can do starting in the 4th position.
All right. Let's see how he gets it done. Here, oh boy. Let's
Into
see.
the start zone we go, Patrick.
Yes, we are. In the booth. There he is. Go, Barney, go. And away they go. Dan McLaren's going to take us away for our first lead lap here. But watch Zach Chapman. He kind of had that really fast time before, and he's already sliding his way around. I want to go ahead and switch this thing over to the laps for you guys. Sorry about that. Lap 1. All right, says there's some crashing in the back. I hope not. Ross, Floro, and Butcher says they kind of got mashed up there, but hopefully they're calm down there toward the back.
Just a little contact. Everything's okay.
All right, man. I'm going to use you for my second set of eyes out there because there's a mile and a half to chase. We aren't on those quarter miles that we were before in the dirt. Right now, Dan McLaren already led that first lap so far. Calm, cool, and collected. Clean lap so far. I mean, really, he's got a good... doing pretty well here. I mean, just seems to have... not really worried about anything. You kind of see him just how he's flowing through this track. Kind of reminds me of you when you kind of took over from Ray Lane. Ray Lane, I think, led over 100 some odd laps, and then you actually blew the field away by over 20 some odd seconds there, bud.
Well, yeah, and that was a really good race. Thanks for bringing that up. Good memory. However, I will say it's all about tire conservation right now. So everyone's looked nice and clean. If you can take care of those tires better than your competition, you'll be putting yourself in a good position for later on in this race, assuming that we stay green, which good indications right now that we might get some good green flag racing in.
Yeah, so far it's kind of looking from these angles here. Everybody's single file. It's good to see. It's take it easy. We got a long way to go. We got a lot of racing to make it happen. Really let the car fall apart before you do. Just take your time, make it happen, and pick your spots. Somebody's getting a little slower, but work on it then. Don't try to. This isn't the last lap. Give it some time. But I think there's a little bit of tangle up here toward the back, if I'm not mistaken here. I think back here with Jeff Floro and Single Cow there for the 24th position.
Yeah, Flaro's been struggling here at the beginning of the race. He got into the wall a little bit and has just been trying to just hold on until he can take a fast repair here. I think things handling pretty evil for him right now.
Yeah, definitely not the setup he would prefer right now. It's definitely giving him some trouble there. But so far, so good. Everybody kind of keeping their distance. Everybody doing well so far. I'd much rather trade a little paint with the wall a little bit, rather than somebody else on the track. I'd hate to ruin somebody else's night, but still, rubbing's racing, man. Sometimes you got to let them know you're there. But Preston Kramer on the outside here of the 911 of Jason Sams. Boy, that was close.
Call on corner entry, yeah. Just fighting over space. Try a little crossover move. Doesn't have the momentum to get to the inside to see if he tries to shove it down into the corner.
Ooh.
He's there now. Can he make it stick on the bottom? It's a difficult pass coming out of turn 4 on the bottom as the truck wants to drift up the track.
Yeah, good
so
move
far,
there.
so good.
Yep. Yeah, looks like Sams is actually keeping that more conservative lines. Hang up top and give him his room. Rather than hammering it door to door if you're not used to racing with these guys. Good move by him. You guys saw there in the background, looked like Mark Gilbert and Mike Cranmer. Back here, these guys kind of bumped each other. The 76 was able to kind of keep it collected there. Mark Gilbert looks like Cranmer may have gotten into him just a little bit. Right now, man on the move. Right now is Terry Landis up 5 positions so far in the 161. Trying to see if he can run down Roger Craig, but he's got a good bit of distance from him. I think he's got about a second he's got to make up to catch up to the 747 truck.
See, a lot of guys taking this low exit out of turn 2, which is really interesting. Not entirely sure. Maybe it's had something to do with the setup here tonight. Normally you drifted out a little closer to the wall, but I see a lot of guys carrying a lot of momentum, just kind of staying on the bottom on corner exit there. It tells me they have a lot of grip right now.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of grip is what you want at the beginning, but it wears off quick. It's not, fortunately, it's not like the next gen cars. You have grip for about 6-7 laps and then it's gone. You do feel the slow fall off here. Robert Lynch fighting here on the outside of Brandon Ishkanyon and his Toyota. Robert Lynch and his Chevrolet, man, he's trying to see if he can take a peek in there. He does have a solid top 10 spot here. Good move there by that camera, looking right at the scoreboard.
That shot brought to you by Visa.
All right, no 5 of Isaac Salas. Look at him kind of rising up. He's got to be careful, boy. Just as I say that, Isaac Salas drops it off the table there, kind of riding on the bottom of the apron. Not what you want to do. He's got to be careful because that is slick. And if these guys remember anything from last week at Michigan, you do not want to drop it off the bottom. There's plenty of track to move around. Oof, ouch.
Oh, Salas in the wall pretty hard there. That was hard enough. He's going to be feeling that one. He's going to need to come and get that repaired, I think, in order to be competitive moving forward. That was a pretty tough hit.
Yeah, we'll take a look here at the, ouch. Yep. Right there on that right side. There's that right front.
Up.
Yeah, it looks like the right front may have survived A-OK, but not really. Not good for him. As he gets going around the track, now he is under fire by Jeff Hallworth there in the 45. We'll see if he can maintain here, but it looks like he gets pulled away there a little bit. Got a good shot out of turn 4. Yeah, look how he rides that front stretch there, kind of bobbing back and forth. But I'll tell you what here, Rob. If you tuned in and any of the Racing Revolution guys or anybody out there in the chat, look at our race so far. We got 12 laps down, no caution. This is wonderful. This is 180 from the past few weeks. So obviously the race is getting a lot more cleaned up here. 27 drivers out here on the track. This is fantastic racing here. I would much prefer it called this than oh man, we got somebody on the wall. This is actually really good. A lot of guys starting to make moves and actually very conscientious of what they're doing. It's not I'm going to plow my way to the front. They're taking their time, picking their spots. As you see right there with the 45 of Jeff Hallworth there, just walked his way around Isaac Salas, moved him to the 10th position, and Hallworth now continues his charge forward.
Yeah, so far we've seen a good, clean race. That's what you want to see. So we're getting what we signed up for here tonight.
Yeah, so we look like we got a battle up here with Bob Light, Zach Chapman. Looks like Zach Chapman may have dropped back there a little bit. Back to the 4th position now. I'm not sure if Zach Chapman is getting a little loose. You see him get loose out of 2 there. So now things are starting to kind of fall apart for Zach Chapman. He's got to be careful. And we were talking about this before, is, that grip is there. You got to be worried about tire conservation. I don't know if Zach Chapman's starting to feel that pressure now with the laps pouring on here.
His previous lap time was about 0.6 slower than his normal lap time, so he must have had some type of moment, possibly corner exit, maybe a little loose, a little too tight, something like that, trying to keep it out of the fence. Ended up losing a lot of momentum there, but looks like he's back to normal pace now.
Right, now already looking at some of the things that we got going on here. Jacob Butcher in the 85 machine is actually coming down pit right now. Right now, Butcher, Dale White, Landis, Calder, and Jeff Floro.
Oh, we got a wreck in turn 4. And he saves it. Floro, the big-time save. Contact coming out of turn 4. Not really sure how he held on to that one, but now it's banged up on both sides, Patrick.
Oh, boy. All right, let me roll that back real quick and kind of see what you're talking about here. Let's just make sure we show everybody else what happened to Jeff Floro here on 4.
Oh, it happened quick.
Oh, boy. Looks like he kind of comes in contact with Mark Gilbert in the 76. Let's go ahead and show you that replay here real quick. Let's see what happens. Floro comes up on Bill Calder in the 325. Whoa!
Oh, just gets loose. Drives in his door. Man, I know he's been struggling at the start of this race, but that was a great save.
Yes, it was. Great save. Great save by Jeff Floro there. Want to go ahead and give him a good shout out there. That was a perfect move by him. Getting slid around there, but boy, look at this stack up here.
Yeah, we got some good racing happening right here.
Yeah, it looks like around that 14th position area is where you're seeing this kind of unfolding here. The 5 of Donovan Ross taking that way inside line seems to be working for him so far. Donovan Ross actually has lost a position so far. Preston Kramer only up 2 positions. Biggest mover right now I'm seeing right now is the 6 positions. The 75 Chevrolet of Steven Bixler right now is moved up to the 20th position from the 26th where he was. And Ishkanyon up here in the 4th. And just as I look at that, 37 time Tim Chapman is around, and that is going to bring out a first caution here. Not too shabby. Almost 20 laps here, Rob.
Yeah, it was a fantastic green flag run, and the tires are really starting to get hot, really starting to wear off now, and guys are, I guess there's a second person we see get loose coming out of turn 4. No damage picked up there by that 37 truck, so glad to see that he was able to keep all the fenders on it.
All right, let's
take
go
a
to
look at this replay, see what happened. Actually, you might have a little bit of help, Patrick.
Uh-oh. Looks like Robert Lynch may have gotten right underneath of him. That door draft seemed to be working out okay. Just as soon as he broke alongside, fresh air to the side, and around he went. But check out Chapman here. Tim Chapman in the 37. Watch him wheel this thing.
Yeah, he's working the wheel there, getting that thing back straight. Just trying to cut to the bottom there, keep his momentum. And unfortunately, I'm not sure who that was, but somebody just barely had their nose in there. Track was already spoken for, but good save. Didn't tear any cars up there.
Yeah, good move by him. Let's go ahead and take a ride along here with Tim Chapman here and kind of see how it feels. Yeah, you see in the mirror. Now watch him in the left mirror here, and you'll kind of see him peek in. Clink. Ooh, man. Man, that thing I want to see is be sideways looking at those barrels.
That's where the dirt track experience comes in and helps, Patrick. All these guys being dirt guys.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's what I was going to say earlier about Floro, when Floro was sliding sideways. But at this point, it may be suicide not to pit. And right now, I see everybody coming down pit lane right now. Definitely everybody stacking up. No sense in not pitting at this point. I think a couple guys may have not. Landis, White, Calder, Floro, and Butcher here have not. But they are laps down, so they may be trying to scoop up some of those laps back. And here we go, just as you were talking about before. Getting that exit. McLaren breaks out and gets that exit right away.
Nice and clean on pit road there. Didn't see any contact. Didn't really see anybody sliding through pit stalls or anything. Nice and clean. Here's the thing, though, Patrick. Now everybody knows what they've got. You know, we had that nice clean start. Everyone's got their confidence up. This is when guys get themselves in trouble. So hopefully we can see another nice green flag run here. But expect a little more aggressiveness out of these guys on this restart.
Well, and then everybody expecting these tires, yes, they will have more grip, but we do have to wait to get heat in them first. And I hope they're not getting ready to, okay, time to push it, and that they hold it to the floor, and it's just not going to stick the way the old ones did. I mean, don't get me wrong, the life and the grip will come in much better, but really stabbing it right there at the beginning, it's difficult for the tires to tack up and get around the turn here.
Yeah, that'll manifest itself as the truck's getting loose. So, if you a little too hard on the throttle on that first lap especially, can be a little bit sketchy. So we'll see what these guys have got.
Yeah, this is going to be definitely an issue for them. Right now, the only one who's not with an issue, Dan McLaren out there, still up front, followed by Bob Light, Andrew Smith, Brandon Ish Canyon, Zach Chapman for the top 5. That's going to bring Robert Lynch. We saw him kind of get bumped there a little bit in the last piece we saw before in the 121, taking kind of bumping Tim Chapman a little bit there. Neil Strausser will be in the 7th position. Jeff Hallworth in 8th. Jason Sams in the 911, rocking out in the 9th. And Devo. Donovan Ross in the 10th position, so hopefully he is able to kind of... uh-oh, look out. What in the world?
That's problematic.
Okay, I'm not the one who just... I'm sorry. Come back. What?
That looked like a hardware issue or perhaps a VR issue.
Yeah,
like we were talking about earlier in the broadcast.
Down and out.
Yeah, he took that one to pit road there. At least nobody else was involved in that little incident.
Well, that is going to now move Tim Chapman up to the 10th position. Wow.
Yeah, that's a position. It'll take him any way you can get him, Patrick. We'll take him VR failures under caution. We'll take him black flags on pit road. We'll take him however we can get him.
I guess so, but man, I just... I mean, I guess it was good it turned off, and then went to the inside. I mean, rather than Rather than we're driving side by side like this, and then all of a sudden cut to the inside, or we're under green. But hopefully, Devo either rejoins or may be the end of his night here.
Yeah, he's going to end up having a tow there either way, so he's probably out of contention no matter what happens from here.
Yeah, unfortunately. I would like to see him get a good shot here tonight. Right now, Donovan is actually sitting back in the 25th, tied with Michael Berthet. In the points running here. Hopefully, I was kind of hoping he'd be able to get that turned around here and get his way back toward the front. But, man, hey, we had almost 20 laps of solid green racing. There's still another chance to run this one solid green as well. With how everybody was driving out there, it was so good, and I don't know, man. To me, it wasn't massive pileups. We just got a little spin up here. Tim Chapman slides through the infield, and we all survive. I mean, you can't ask for better than that.
You can ask for, yes, sir.
All right, Dan McLaren's going to bring us to our next green flag here, Rob. Looks like green flag is waving, and away they go.
Pretty good restart on the outside line there by Light. About as good as you can ask for on one of these restarts. See what he can do down here in 1 and 2 if he can stay with him.
Yeah. Yeah, Bob Light, a frequent driver here in the on the asphalt, so he's no stranger there. Woo.
Caution's back out. Looks like the 25 is stopped in the middle of the track down 1 and 2.
That would be Gary Sigelkow back there in the 25.
Not sure what happened. Pretty far back behind the main pack.
Yeah, we're going to kind of wind this up a little bit. I'm not sure if he got tangled up with anybody or it was him. I don't know here, but we'll kind of take a peek here. Here's Sigelkow coming into turn 1 right after this restart behind Terry Landis in the 61.
This is looking like help too.
Uh-oh.
Kind of similar to the previous wreck. We've got a car inside, and he didn't come down super far, but a little 360 and keep going. Looks like another nice save there by the car in front of him.
Yeah, looks like Sigelkow and Dale White got into each other there. Yeah, good save there by Sigelkow, not sending it up into the top wall and destroying the rest of your night. Just looks like a couple flat spots in the tires, and you're going to go ahead and continue on.
And no harm, no foul there. Both those trucks will be fine.
Yep. No problem out of them. Well, make sure you guys know that all these replays are brought to you by Malcolm Mills Mill Riding, based in Oakland, Ontario, Canada. Malcolm's Mill Riding is a full-service mill riding contractor featuring custom welding, fabricating, and servicing industrial clients. Check them out at mmmmillriding.com or on Facebook. Sometimes that's easier. So that's going to put Sigelkow all the way here in the back position, showing him about 20th right now with 25 laps to go. I'm hoping cautions don't breed cautions. I mean, I think I'm spoiled with that first set of everybody doing so well that I hate to see it when it gets to this point, is you're like, oh no, please get back out there. Everything's okay. We're good. Just keep it under control. But, hopefully these guys are calmed down a little bit. And I think everybody got excited about those tires, and then some dumb stuff started happening.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just a product of aggressive racing. So we'll see what we've got here, but I have some faith they'll get it cleaned up.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen. You can't.
There's no avoiding it.
Yeah, you can't avoid it all the time. Yep. I'm with you, bud. But man, this is really stacking up to be a good one here.
We'll see if anyone has anything for McLaren. He's led every lap so far. Bob Light had a good restart there, but we didn't get to see enough racing to know if Bob really has something for him or not. We know Andrew was fast. Andrew Smith there in the 79 was fast at the beginning of the race as well. Kind of started to fall off as the tires got aged, but he was making up tons of ground on the short run. So maybe he's a threat now that we're running more caution laps. We'll see what we've got.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And we'll have to see. We'll have to see, man. Like I said, there's still plenty of race to go. 20 laps to get it done. We ran the first 20, no problem, and then everything, is kind of up to them at this point. Bob Light, unfortunately, last week we saw him kind of touch Isaac Salas there, and that ruined Salas's night. Bob Light actually ran out of fuel. So when Bob Light ran out of fuel, I kind of took him out for the night. So it knocked him out of the top 10. So he's looking to kind of turn that around. I assure you, he has a full tank of fuel on this one. But, dude, this is... And you hate to see it when it's kind of a silly checkup here, as something like that happens. I think the only one is actually Jason Sams, Terry Landis, Tim Chapman, all pit there on lap 25 and 26. So these guys are repitting again, and maybe a little strategy here, a little extra fuel to see if we can make it right to the end.
Yeah, interestingly enough, it looks like going down, scrolling through the fast repair record here. It's like Zach Chapman took a fast repair at some point. Isaac Salas, that's not a surprise. A lot of damage on that truck from early on. Dean Meitzler has taken a fast repair. Preston Cranmer, Mark Gilbert. So a fair amount of guys have had to use one. We got a few in the back who have had to use two already, actually. But, the wall will come out and get you when you least expect it, Patrick. So no sense keeping the damage on the car if you have a fast repair. Just fix everything that you get.
Yeah, especially when you start with two. If you start with two, everything's okay. I'd go ahead and burn that first one. But, man, you're kind of on the edge of your seat saying, I don't want to get in a wreck, so I don't move to the back. But then I've also got that fast repair, so I know I'm not completely out. There could be a pile up toward the end of the race. So, I have been in a 16th position and finished 8th just because of a pile up at the line. There's still always that chance, but, you can't take the chance if you're not out there on the track.
That's right. It's got to do what's best for your opportunity to stay. Got to keep the car clean, but you got to keep a little track position as well. So that's where fast repairs come in handy.
Yep. I'm sure Justice Murphy would like 5 or 6 of those during a race.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can just get him, just like a handicap fast repair for each race he's in. Let's see if Bob Light can get as good of a restart as he did last time.
All right, and here we go. Andrew Smith there and right now 4 Toyotas, 1, 2, 3, and 4. McLaren, Light, Smith, and Ish Canyon here going to go ahead and take this one away for our green flag restart here. They do not use the restart zone here. They go ahead and let the flag man do it. So everything is controlled by Barney up in the flag stand there. Away they go. Bob McLaren starting to make it happen. Zach Chapman taking a peek from the inside there, just outside the top 4 Toyotas here. We'll see if Zach Chapman's got anything for him. Like I said, he was super fast for qualify, but he definitely fell off there during race time, and I'm just wondering if any part of that was tire fall off.
Oh, we got a big wreck. It's a 25 there in turn 3 and 4. Some hard contact with the wall. While we were watching Andrew Smith dive it down into turn 3 there and slid up, got into Bob Light a little bit. Drivers are discussing that on the radio. No harm, no foul. Everybody continues along, no arguments, so that's always good to see.
Yeah, I think they may just any kind of frustration at this point is just kind of another caution. We're dealing with this again. You know what I mean? I think that'd be the only thing at this point is everybody just kind of getting a little uptight at this point, kind of figuring out what we need to do to get back forward. Unfortunately, the 25 is caught up back in this one again as we're going to our Malcolm Mills mill riding caution replay here. Let's see if Signal Cow what happens. Yeah, it looks like just Dale White kind of came up a little bit.
Yeah, Dale comes up a little bit, and he's probably expecting the 25 of Signal Cow to be a little bit higher on the racetrack, closer to the wall there probably, but that's just it's just unfortunate. Nothing intentional by anybody or anything. It's just close racing.
Yeah, and you hate to see it here
325
with Bill Calder. He tries to squeak by, clink, just catches the front, and then all you see is smoke coming out from behind the car. So I don't know if it's blown his, busted that radiator out.
Yeah, if we've got time, let's see if we can see what that looked like inside that 325.
Yeah. Oh man, we had plenty of time, even with that last one. And you just hate to see it. And speaking of which, since you have kind of that outward deal, can you see incident points?
Yes, I believe so. Well, actually, thought I could, but I don't have it set up that way, so unfortunately,
All right, that's okay.
I cannot.
Let's take a look here at the 325 here. Sees it. Oh, lock him up.
You're just trying to guess which way he's gonna go.
Man.
Because he's bouncing off the wall. Yeah, slowing down was probably the right decision there, but without being able to slow the car down with the guy sideways in the middle of the track, there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah. Kind of wish the 25 car here of Signal Cow had some Trevor Earhart brakes on him. Seems to not clip the wall just because he's able to lock him down just right in time. That was a good throwback to the Pocono race there, but here we are, here at Charlotte, and it's just there's room. I think it's just kind of not seeing the mirrors. I think it was just something happened, but I can't point fingers 100% here at that 25 car. He kind of was holding his line. He was doing fine. I just think that I think Dale White kind of got up into him, unfortunately. It looked like Dale White is down pit, along as Bill Calder as well is down pit as well. So hopefully those guys haven't burned through all their faster pairs, and they're able to get back out there on the track.
It looks like we've had a couple of cars maybe retire from the race here, and Donovan Ross looks like he's retired. We saw him hit the wall earlier under caution. And then looks like Dale White may have pulled it off as well.
Yep, that's the way it's looking. It's showing me all he is in pit road, and now he's back to the garage. So that is going to do it for him. Guys out there in the chat I'm watching, it got awfully quiet on me.
Everyone was all excited for those first 20 green flag laps.
Yeah. Now I want to put something in perspective here, and something may be something interesting to think about. Is Dan McLaren has opted to pit back on lap 30 here with Zach Chapman, Isaac Salas. It's...
We were so focused on everything else, we missed that, huh?
Yeah, but these guys all came down pit. Robert Lynch, Hallworth, Smith, Gilbert. I mean, Preston Cranmer came down pit, but it says he wrecked. And I don't know if something happened. We'll take a quick peek here. Oop. A little touch there from that 76 of Mark Gilbert. Uh-oh.
Maybe another hardware issue here. Not what you want to see. No, unless they had to come down and get fuel, I don't like coming down pit road for tires right there. We've only had a couple laps on those tires under green. Now you're back in 15th, and I just don't see you making your way back through the field in time. But I'm sure that they crunched the numbers and decided it was the best option for them. So we'll see if they can prove me wrong.
Yeah, Jason Sams and Zach Chapman each had a... Jason Sams had a 5-second pit stop. Zach Chapman here had a 9-second pit stop as well.
Smith came down as well here.
Yeah.
He's also back there in the 15th position.
And Dean Meitzler had a 5-second pit stop. So something to keep in mind. Some of these guys, are starting to do a little bit of pit strategy, sliding around here just a little bit, but not as much as you would think. A lot of guys took tires, and I just don't...
Seems like it might have just been fuel if we were only there for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But, I mean, hey, we run 8-9 laps here. Everyone's coming down and taking tires anyway, so I'm still not sure I like taking fuel there unless we go green to the finish, but we'll see what happens.
Yep. It could be the move of the race here, but Bob Light already getting going here. Looks like we almost had a 3-wide condition.
Massive crash at the start-finish line.
Heck happened there? Preston Cranmer got mashed up. The 05 of Isaac Salas got wasted.
Andrew Smith was in it. Zach Chapman was in it. Somebody just didn't go on this restart.
Yeah, I'm wondering if somebody missed a shift here. That was pretty brutal. That was man, you hate to see it kind of unfold like that, but it looked like it was the beginning of a 3-wide issue. And I don't know if somebody missed the shift and then he tried to get out of the way. But I think,
Malcolm's mill riding is getting fantastic bang for their buck on this caution replay sponsorship tonight. After what looked like they might not get any shout outs at all at the beginning of the race, and now it's just Malcolm's Mills all over the place.
Yes, it is. Let's see if I can find a good angle. Yeah, bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to figure out what in the world happened here that kind of unfolded this piece. There's a 3-wide condition as how it starts. Single cows here on the inside. 72.
Yeah, so the 72 goes to the inside to avoid, not sure who that is there, in the outside line, the red and black truck. But when he goes to the inside, he's trying not to get a black flag. If he beats him to the finish line there, he's going to get a black flag. So he hits the brakes. Not sure that was the right decision. But when he does that, everyone just piles in behind him. I'd like to see what happened to that truck in front of him, though.
Yeah, I think that was the 911 car of Jason Sams here. Why he kind of swung to the outside. Yeah, I get what he's trying to do here. I just, I think once somebody kind of dies off there, you kind of get pushed around. But let's take a ride here in the 911, see if he misses a gear.
Oh, you know what? I think he's in the wrong gear. Yeah, he downshifts right there. So yeah, he should have been in second, and he's restarting. I can't actually hear the onboard personally here right now, so I can't tell you which gear he was in, but he was probably in 4th gear trying to save some fuel under caution. And then green flag comes out, you're in 4th gear, it doesn't go. Everyone behind you is ready to go, going way faster than you, trying to avoid you.
Yep.
And that's how you end up in that situation.
That's exactly how it looked. Let's take a look here from Isaac Salas, because he was the first one that went slinging through here. Oh, never saw it.
Man. Almost passed it. Just gets hooked in the right rear. Absolutely nothing you can do there.
I think he gets that extra shot.
Yeah, he needed one more, Patrick. He didn't have enough damage on it already, so...
yeah, I guess so.
He'd come down, equal it out, hit him on the left side, too.
Boy. Isaac Salas now showing back here in the 21st position, maybe marching back farther than that. Yeah, he hates to see it, and it's just...
He was so fast in practice, and then he didn't qualify as well as I'm sure he thought he should have. Didn't qualify as well as I thought he was going to. And it just seems like that's where his issues started, and it just compounded from there, being stuck back further in the field, and now he's just in the chaos.
Yeah, definitely. It's just out there in the chat. I know somebody's been trying to serve a penalty here for a little bit for about 10 laps. But he's having trouble getting it cleared, I think, because, you know, if he's having to serve a black, he doesn't have the time to get down there with these cautions. You have to serve it under a green flag, and this is just kind of ruining his chances of actually returning back to be competitive.
Well, yeah, that's a situation you keep dealing with, and at some point you just have to bring it down pit road with 1 lap to go, cycle all the way to the back, and then just hang back and pit right when the green flag comes out and hope you can get down in there before the next caution happens so you can serve your penalty.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now the cautions are starting to stack up now. Already 4 in the books. Man, they spoiled me. They got me so excited about what's happening on here.
They build you up just to break you down, Patrick.
Oh, man. That's all right. They still got good racing down here. I know some of these guys who ended up... using that faster pair early, you know, if they've used 1 or 2, they're gonna hate that they had, you know, they're having to sit down pit and kind of get them hammered out now. I believe we're about to go back under green.
Yeah, we've got Brandon Ishkanyan in first in the 19 truck there, and then Bob Light, who's I think has started first car on the outside pretty much all race. So we'll see what he can do. He's had really good restarts so far. If he can just have a slightly better restart than he's had the last couple of times, he'll be side by side down into turn 1. It's a good spot to be. We'll see if he can get the pass done on the restart. Jeffrey Kemper there in third. I don't think we've talked about him much, but all of a sudden he snuck up into a top 3 position with Neil Strausser in fourth. Also haven't seen a whole lot of him, so some new guys cycling to the front here too.
Absolutely. I mean, Roger Craig up 15 positions. Mike Cranmer in the 70 machine right there, up 6. Terry Landis. I mean, we saw him a lap down. Now he's on the lead lap in 7th, up 17 positions. And that, don't forget Richard Holland in the 8th on the 116, up 14 positions. So these guys are getting ready to let it rip again.
Everybody's in the correct gear this time, it looks like. Everyone's nice and calm. Calm, cool, collected to get started. I like what we see.
Yes. Ooh, good. Easy move there by the 70. Kind of trying to bump that guy off him. So Brandon Ishcanyon, it's his chance to kind of break away here. But Bob Light, he kind of sits back. He lets it happen in front of him, kind of waits him out, and then starts reeling him in. So Bob Light definitely waiting his time to go ahead and when to make this move. But he is under fire right now by Kemper.
Yeah, he's trying to decide about going inside, outside. Have a nice run down to turn 1. See if he takes it right in behind him. If he try.
Oh, I think the 70's around. Oh, the 70 saved it.
Nice save. They're wrecking behind him, unfortunately. Big wreck. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Exit in turn 2.
Oh, Salas caught up in it again.
In it again. Not the night Salas was looking for.
No, not at all. And it's kind of this is what happened to him at Michigan. You know, he had a good run. He was running up front, and it just I wish the problems would happen earlier in the race rather than later, because it's causing so much trouble for so many drivers here. I actually might have to kind of pull out on this one, because I think this one has a multi-angle, multi-dimensional issue here.
How many dimensions can we get to? 'Cause we got.
Well, you see Salas
There's
dropping
a whole
off
lot
here,
happening here.
But watch up front with Sigelcow with the 25. Boom. So there's a shot up front. So Salas saves it, gets back on the track the same as the 70, and he's coming back for it again. And you just
get it saved just to pile into the next wreck.
Right. Just to come up on the next problem. He's trying desperately to stop.
Again, nowhere to go. Piles Andrew Smith into it. Nothing those guys can do. The 37's in it again.
Yep, Tim Chapman's around. Yep, he's done. Jeff Hallworth in the 45's done. He's all bent to pieces. Isaac Salas trying to stop it. Robert Lynch is watching it all happen.
25 truck can't have any more left side doors left in the garage area at this point, I don't think.
Yeah, it's not definitely not looking good. I would say a good ride along here with Isaac Salas would probably feel pretty good, because I think his problem. Oh my, wow. All right, this one's rough. Yeah, this one's rough. You're gonna like this one. You're gonna like this one. Isaac Salas following behind Robert Lynch here on the outside. Now watch what happens. This starts before the wreck's up front.
All right.
He gets doored.
Oh.
So
okay.
Isaac Salas slides off. Oh, I'm safe. Everything's A-okay. We're good.
And
round 2. I mean, just you think you got it round 3? No. I mean,
at least the 325 missed that one.
He
got into another couple of them earlier.
I just don't know, man. That was
there's
awful.
Bad luck, and then there's that. I mean, it's just
awful.
Just when you think your luck can't get any worse.
It's like a shot here with with Robert Lynch here when he gets doored.
Ooh, yeah, that's a pretty good shot. Oh, all right.
He is checking up. Watch this. Oh yeah, Isaac Salas, look out.
Yeah, the truck in front of him helped him check up.
Wow. Wow.
Hey. It's a good thing we have the fast repairs, you know. Get them all fixed up, take them back out here, and see if we can't make our way back to the front.
But the guys who aren't, You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel sorry. There's a handful of guys in here I feel sorry for tonight. Just with, it seems like it's the same 5 guys who have the wreck happen in front of them every time. Nowhere to go.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's just you kind of, you got great drivers out there. Jason Sams is doing well. Isaac Salas is doing well. Preston Kramer doing well. Andrew Smith. And these guys just keep getting caught up in so many of these issues here in the back that you hate to see it.
Remember when I said I wouldn't have pit?
Yeah.
And then most of those guys who pit have been involved in these wrecks. Dan McLaren actually has avoided them. He's up to 7th. So he's made up 8, 9 spots since his pit stop. Still with a lot of work to do, with only 7 laps to go here at the line. See if he can get back up there. I assume with these back-to-back cautions that these guys up front have had the opportunity to save enough fuel to make it to the end. We don't know their exact fuel numbers, but with this whole rash of cautions, I would expect everybody to be able to finish the race at this point.
Yeah, definitely being able to get that. Keep an eye on that. The 116 and the 70 that are behind Dan McLaren here got some damage to the rear and the side of those vehicles right there. So he's got a lot of bent up cars behind him. And shout out there to Dan McLaren. Great job out there filling out your SDK. But it looks like the 88's now going to have damage on the back of him as the 70 trades paint with him during a caution lap here. Good job filling out your form there, buddy. I like it when it looks like that. All right, Roger Craig has broken into the top 5. Good to see him. How he's getting moved up front.
Mike Cramner just letting him know he's coming.
Yeah. I would much rather you be like, waving a hand out the window or something else. You don't have to slam into me.
We don't have that technology yet, Patrick. Only thing you can do is get up there and run into him. It's the only thing you can do.
All right, well, I'll leave it to the Zuck to figure out how to have my VR show my hands out of the car. I can see that getting a lot worse.
Be in the metaverse in no time. All right, Brandon Ishkanyon. Another restart. Let's see what he can do. Bob Light on the outside. See if he can get a good restart side by side down to turn 1.
All right, green flag is out. Brandon Ishkanyon getting a great start out front, but Bob Light holds him to it. These guys kind of got to figure out how to tree each other here a little bit to get started up. But that is going to bring some good side-by-side racing here with only 6 laps left to go in this one. 50 laps is what we're aimed for, but boy, I don't...
I reckon they
not we were going to be at a green-white caution here. Alrighty. Dirty Dangles out there. Hopefully, out there in the chat, man. I see what you're saying out there. Hopefully the race control is kind of able to square that away a little bit to try to kind of wipe some of those black flags. I understand the black flags happen, but hopefully they're able to kind of square some of them away. It says here that Preston Cranmer may have been involved in this one. It should be. I hope not. A little bit of I don't know if we had an iRacing issue here or what.
Yeah, I believe that there are some black flags that this group typically clears, but due to some recent events now, they've had to change it so that the black flags count.
Oh no. Preston, what are you doing?
Quite a bit of Andrew Smith having non-flashbacks, trying to avoid that one. Man.
What in the world was that? He went into his truck.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of... I mean, they made contact, obviously, but a bit of bad internet connection going on there as well. Might actually ended up saving some heartburn for some of these guys who were behind him. It probably kept it from being a bigger accident than it could have been.
Who is that? Hell, his number's upside down on top of his truck, so I couldn't find a 58. He's the 85. The 85 being Jacob Butcher here.
That's the dirt track style,
I guess so.
Those roof numbers are different on the dirt cars.
Boy, Preston Cranmer, man, I hate to see that.
Well, we're probably looking at a green-white checker here for this next restart now.
Interesting to see. It says Tim Chapman is down in the pit. I don't know if he's suffered a massive amount of damage here. back in the 18th position.
I
Jacob
believe he's
Butcher had to
used-
come down pit.
Yeah, I believe Chapman there had used all of his faster pairs, so he's had to probably come down and manually fix
Ugh.
whatever damage is on the truck here.
Hopefully not the meatball flag. There he goes. I got a South Park thing going on there.
Integrity Farms sponsored truck.
Smart move. Look at Brandon Ishkanyon here. See what he's doing?
Save that fuel.
Got to, man. Last time he pit was back on lap 20, along with everybody else in the top 4. Light, Camper, Strausser. These guys all pit on lap 20, but Roger Craig, Richard Holland, Mike Cranmer, those guys all pit on lap 20. So Jeremy Tate. So kind of spread out here for guys who are, who have and who haven't pit. I just want to know if Dan McLaren, who last pit on lap 30, he's still in 6th, if he could get a green flag run here, he would have been able to come back up front. I'm sure, because for his pit time here, he picked up 4 tires. I mean, he's on the freshest tires up here so far, up in the top 10.
Yeah, he definitely is. 'Cause I feel like 6th is just too far back to make up that difference. But, I mean, hey, you get a really good restart, pick up 2 or 3 spots, and get a caution right before you get to the line, rack them up and do it again, you're right in it. So I definitely wouldn't count him out.
Yeah, well, hopefully he's able to come from behind. I've seen you come from behind, with about 6 or 7 laps and be able to come back and almost win the damn thing. So can't say much there. But Brandon Ishkanyon starting first, Bob Light second, Kemper third, Neil Strausser fourth, Terry Landis up 19 positions. Right now our hardest charger here so far, Dan McLaren, back in the 6th position in his 88 Toyota. 747 of Roger Craig in 7th. 8th is Richard Holland. Mike Cranmer in 9th. And that is going to put Dean Meitzler in the 10th position. I'm going to get that down, Dean. I promise. I'll get it. Dean Meitzler in the 49 Chevrolet. If any of you guys are worried about any kind of manufacturer problem, check this out. Nothing but Toyotas really up here in the top 10. They are owning this track here. Yeah, pretty much Chevrolets beyond that. Boy, 3 to go here on this one. Pace car lights are out. We'll have 2 to go once we hit the line. So it's going to be a pretty much 2-3 lap shootout here.
It's all about the restart, Patrick. Bob Light's going to win the race. He needs to be as close to dead even heading into turns 1 and 2 as he can. We haven't seen him be able to hold the outside through 1 and 2, but if he can stay side by side, be next to Ishkanyon when we come off turn 2, I feel like that outside line is a really good place to be down in 3 and 4. It's going to be hard to pass if he can't maintain that position there, though. So I feel like that's the most important part here, is just that run through 1 and 2.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing I'm concerned about is I just hope we don't go to green, white, checkered, a bunch of times. I would love to see this shootout. I mean, from this start, that would be a wonderful ending here to the night at the Gambler Motorsports Topside Tuesday. Is let's drop this green, let's get these guys lined up, let's get one clean, solid lap, and then after that, man, I definitely expect to see paint being traded on this one. Brandon had a great job last week at Michigan, but this is his chance to shine here as they're getting lined up for this green flag restart. Barney up in the booth is swinging it, so here he goes. Ishkanyon and Bob Light away. Here they go. Let's see if they can go ahead and keep it clean for the rest of the field back there. I see some wobbling.
Looks pretty good back there at the moment. Nice run by Bob Light on corner exit at 2. He's going to be there.
Boy, this is going to be tight. Taking a ride along here with Bob Light there.
He's got to get to the right rear quarter panel. He's there. Coming to the white flag, Patrick. I like where Bob Light's at.
Oh, man. Yeah, Brandon Ishkanyon, you may have to ride him up into turn 1 and 2 here. Try to see if you can stretch him out a little bit. Bob Light's getting loose. Oh.
Wrecking behind him, but we're coming back to the checkered flag here.
Yep, white flag does not matter from here on out. We're going to stick with these guys as right now the battle up front is happening. Does the 181 of Jeffrey Kemper send Ishkanyon flying? This is probably going to be our 1, 2, and 3. Bob Light is going to bring the win here at Charlotte. Brandon Ishkanyon second and Jeffrey Kemper third. Good finish by these guys here in the back. So far, Roger Craig, he got a solid 6th place. Terry Landis passed him to break into the top 5 as a hard charge of 19 places in his Toyota. He came from a lap down and all the way up to a 5th place finish. Wow. Fantastic job there by that 61 Toyota of Terry Landis.
Yeah, what a fantastic last couple of laps. I know we had a little rough spot there in the middle, but I don't know, Patrick. I thought that when Ishkanyon got clear off of turn 2, that he had it won. He decided to protect the bottom and leave Bob Light the top. He felt like he was going to have the best run down there, and then Bob Light got it done on the top, got around him. But good, clean racing again. You know, we've had 2 really good finishes tonight. For the main events, and in both cases, guys chose to drive nice and clean to the finish, which is what you like to see.
Absolutely, and that, man, you can't. That was amazing. That was an amazing set of driving from these guys. Some of these guys just weren't able to quite squeak it out there right toward the end, but still, regardless, still great driving. I feel bad for Dan McLaren. I was hoping he would be able to get his way up there, but he, unfortunately, back in that 11th position you see there. Kind of undoing his night for him. I'll rotate through some of our drivers here. Boy, look at that. These guys are ready to rock and roll. Get our guys kind of wound up for you. Believe we might be ready. We might be ready to have a little chat here with Jeffrey Kemper. Jeffrey Kemper, you got a copy on me here, bud?
Yeah, I got you. You got me?
Oh, yeah, bud. Dude, what a race that was. You tried to put a couple extra moves there on Brandon in the 19. You know, you almost had him there. Did you think if about another green flag lap, you might have run him down?
I kind of doubt that. When I started going into 1 and 2, I started pushing really hard up into them, and I just kind of had to give it up at that point and drop in line for 3rd and take it home with that.
Yeah, I gotta admit, you got to, people really appreciate that rather than you pushing it too hard and really kind of stabbing it in there and people not, surviving toward the end. Right now, you're 14th in points. We'll see after this week where it ends up putting you. I definitely expect to see it slide you up close to the top 10 with a 3rd place finish here tonight. Great job. Man, dude, really, other than the cautions, what would have been able to do it for you to get your way up, maybe 2nd, if not win the race here?
Honestly, probably just more practice, knowing what's going on. I started out iRacing doing NASCAR stuff, and then been doing dirt for the most part of the rest of the time, and it's nice that Coast2Coast got back into it. I really like it, and just more seat time.
All right, man. Well, go ahead and give me your shout-outs, man. Great job tonight.
Yeah, I got to thank my girlfriend and family, and thank you, Simtrax Racing, Patrick, and Rob, and everybody that helps out, all the sponsors for Coast2Coast Racing League. We got Cool Ray. Oh, man, there's so many of them. I can't even. Langdon Mechanical. There's a lot there, but thank you to all of them.
Oh, yeah, not a problem, bud, but fantastic job racing tonight. Don't forget to thank Tim Chapman out there for hosting, sponsoring this league out here, bud. But fantastic, man. I can't wait to see what you got for us next week.
Oh, yeah, Tim Chapman also. That's the main one for sure for hosting this and paying for the broadcast. And we'll be out next week, see what we do.
All right, man. Good job. Keep your head down and keep charging forward.
All right, thank you.
All righty, and there's Jeffrey Kemper there. We'll be getting to Bob Light here in just a little bit. I know Brandon Ishkanyon here. We're going to have a little chat with him up in the 2nd position. Brandon, dude, so close. But, what could have done it? You were up front for most of the night here.
Yeah, man. Green flag runs. Green flags. I think green flags would have been it. I've raced with Bob before, and he's pretty quick. So, I'm lucky to get the first spot off that restart we had. So, but no, man, it was just green flag runs. I think would have done it. I know that first after that one caution we had like 2 or 3 laps where I kind of gapped him a little bit. So.
All right, man. But really, it was still, like I said, it was still good racing out of you. Up front. I think at Michigan, you kind of ended up getting a bad turn at Michigan, and I was happy to see you at least being able to get up, for a top 3 podium position here tonight. You're right. If we had less cautions, probably more battling toward the front. But man, dude, it was still a great race here at Charlotte. Yeah, it's hard to ask any other questions. I mean, you led a bunch of laps here tonight. I'm just trying to figure out what could we have done. Bob Light kind of got you there on the outside. Great job by you by not really dooring him here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I gave him too much room up top. I didn't want to, crowd him too much, but I also didn't want to give him that much room. He had that momentum, man. But the truck was fast tonight. I worked with, the guys on the team Epsilon Sprint Wraps, and we worked all week. Well, I say all week. We worked all weekend, running laps and just trying to get fast and pit strategy, that kind of stuff, man. And I knew we had good pit strategy. We were good to go in terms of just strategy wise, but green flag runs would have got me up, would have kept me up front, and would have probably brought him the checkered. But it is what it is, man. I definitely gotta thank Preston for bringing me on, and Epsilon Sprint Wraps. This thing looks beautiful in the nighttime. So I'm definitely want to thank him, and all of my official races that I run Team Watson Racing setups. So I gotta thank him for coming on board. And my brother wasn't here tonight, so he's feeling under the weather. So I thank him for just being there too.
All right, man. 37th in points. This is definitely, I expect to see us sling you up into at least to the top 15 with a second place finish here, bud. But I was gonna say, you talked about your wraps, man, but you got any more shout outs for me before we send you on your way?
I mean, that's it. Just thank Tim and everybody for putting this on, and Roger for putting it on as well, and keeping it going. Like I said before, Preston's told me a lot about the league, and I'm glad I was able to get in here. And just want to thank everybody with ESW and TWR and my guys back in my league and that I run and stuff like that, man. It's good to be on here.
All right, man. Fantastic job tonight. I can't wait for what you got up next. Up next is Atlanta, so go ahead and get practicing at that track, bud, and we'll see you next week.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
All right, Rob. That is Brandon Ishcanyon there, and he seems to have it under control. 3 Toyotas finished in the top 3 tonight. Really showed how well they can do. Bob Light, man, he really he had it down last week. Just ran out of fuel, but he's able to retain this time. Let's go ahead and get straight to Bob Light. I know he's pretty excited about getting his way here into the booth. Let's see if we can have a little chat with Bob Light in the 77 Toyota. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
All right. And I am doing awesome. A lot better than you were doing last week, bud. I think you ran out of fuel in Michigan.
I did. I gambled there late, and with that extra green-white checkered, I came up on the wrong side.
All right, man. Well, you definitely gambled here tonight. I've made a few shorts of you, actually, with your wreck avoidance abilities. You're able to drive these trucks around here like you've done it before. But here you come with a win here tonight. Really, what was the key to bringing home the checkered flag?
Well, I got lucky. We had that long green flag run at the first part of the race, and then Dan pitted there for fuel, which I thought was going to put him in the catbird seat. But with all the yellows we had the second half, he had a hard time working his way back up. And I got to tip my cap to Brandon. He left me room high on the back straight on that last lap, and that was the key.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I mean, I told him he did a really good job because some people will door you. You know what I mean? I if I were there, I'd have probably rode you a little bit higher into 1 and 2 to try to get a better angle to see if I could squeeze you down the backstretch there. But really, you guys were able to keep room. Really, no trouble out of either one of you guys here in the top 3, getting your way up toward the front. But fantastic job tonight here, Bob. Other than cautions, what would have improved the race here tonight?
I think it was really, really good other than the cautions. I mean, we had some good battles going up front, but it seems like they'd last a lap and a caution would come out. But that first half was a real blast.
Oh, yeah, the 20 laps, 19, 20 laps of solid green. Man, this is going to be your first race win here for the Pickup Cup. And right now, you're already top 3 in the points. So it is going to start getting neck and neck here with Timothy Chapman, Dan McLaren. You know, a bunch of you guys, I think you're only 2 points ahead of Jason Stams and Neil Strausser. Atlanta is coming up next week, and that's why I bring up the points. How are you feeling about Atlanta? Because that's going to kind of determine where you start swinging in the points lead here.
Yeah, Atlanta's another track I like. It's kind of like here, you've got to conserve tires a little bit early to be fast later in the run. So it's not just wide open like Daytona and Talladega. So it takes some driving.
All right, bud. There's I don't know, man. I finally got to talk to you. You know, it's been a blast being able to see, you know, kind of squeeze you in here. I know I've kind of been waiting, and you've been in that seat, you know, top 3 for the, you know, every single week. I know Daytona you avoided a bunch, but got caught up in a couple. You at Michigan, you ran out of fuel. I was like, oh man, I didn't get to talk to him, but I finally get to see here the Bob Light in the '77 Toyota, man. But fantastic job tonight, man. Give me your shout outs here, bud.
I'd just like to give Coast to Coast a shout out and Tim Chapman for sponsoring this series and you guys for doing the broadcast. It's been fun.
All right, bud. I appreciate it. Really fantastic job out of you tonight. We'll see what you can do in Atlanta, bud. Good job, Bob Light.
Thank you, sir. See you next week.
Yep. All right, that's Bob Light. Robert, really, what a fantastic race. I know it's the first time you were joining me here. And Bob Light, you know, like I said, I've been just kind of waiting to talk to this guy. I've got to know who the man is behind the wheel. You know, he's not just, you know, just a truck out here on the track. I now know the guy behind the wheel, and that's who I wanted to talk to, and I'm glad to be able to finally talk to him here. But Rob, you've been here for now the Topside Tuesdays, and I would say it's the craziest day of the week is going from those wingless 360s, going to the 410s on the dirt, and then slinging here at an asphalt track, and especially here at Charlotte. What'd you think about the night?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Completely unpredictable race to race. It's cool to see a lot of the same guys in multiple races tonight, being able to see how they compare and contrast in the different cars, the different, types of racing that we saw tonight. And one thing that I learned was that the guys who are good seem to be good at everything. You know, your best drivers show up no matter what we're driving. So it was pretty cool. We had some awesome dirt racing earlier with a fantastic finish there in the first heat. In the first race. We had some good racing in the heats. Second race is a little bit more gapped out, but definitely cool to watch the 410s fly around and rip the top there at Kokomo. And then you top it all off with a really nice 20-lap green flag run with some really good racing, and then plenty of crashes for people who are a fan of that. And then we ended up getting a fantastic last lap pass for the lead. I mean, I don't really know what more you can ask for, Patrick. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate you having me on. Appreciate C2C, Coast to Coast Racing for having me here tonight. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, Rob. Appreciate you joining me here in the booth as well, man. It was really awesome here. Don't forget, guys, Simtrax Broadcasting. Go ahead, simtraxbroadcasting.com. You'll be able to find our schedule there. Also, when Racing Revolution, here, Robert Rader in the booth, when he'll be running Wednesdays. Not this Wednesday. You guys have a week off, so you guys are going to take a little bit of a break, I guess, from all that celebrating and winning up there toward the front. But you'll also see me for the Graceland Shootout Series on Saturdays. But also, don't forget to tune into C2CRL.com, and they've got a schedule there of everything we've got coming up so far, even on Wednesday for the Hometown Hero Series they got coming up tomorrow. But once again, thank you for joining us here, guys, at Coast to Coast Racing Network for the Gambler Motorsports Topside Tuesdays. Patrick Morrison here in the booth, followed beside me, Robert Rader, in the 53 Chapman Environmental Services Ford. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Be well, be safe, be kind. Bye, guys.